immigrant get beat on and get thrown in back of cop cars. They enjoy watching immigrant or watching Venezuelans get blown up. They enjoy this B-rate movie that we're living through. They enjoy the violence that is Donald Trump. You got to understand, if Donald Trump was doing, let's say he was doing an actual immigration bill in here where people were having to pay a fine, that's boring to them. They like to watch the shit get beat on. They like people getting put into an El Salvador prison. They like seeing boats get blown up. They like the shit.
Jeez, wait a minute. Moderate.
Hold on. You just talked to an incredibly ignorant man, and you're wondering what these people are incredibly. They are the most dumbest coalition of voters ever put together.
So I take it you're not very MAGA friendly, so to speak.
I listen to them. I'm surrounded by. I can walk out my house and throw a tennis ball and hit a Trump supporter. Okay, they're all over the place. But there's some of them that are half smart, but there's most of them. The one thing Donald Trump did is that he brought out people that were never politically involved, and it shows. It shows how ignorant and the stuff they believe this guy. They believe he's always playing chess and everybody's playing checker. This guy is luckily he's not in the corner with the crayon. He is the dumbest son of a bitch ever to be in office.
You can't believe that. This guy is a billionaire.
He's stupid.
Hold on.
He's stupid.
Allow me.
Dude, he just went into Venezuela and he boomed the place. And then he's sitting there. This is the same guy that said no new wars. No new wars. I played the clip for him today in my live, bro. There, listen to this shit. No new wars. And then he was talking about nation building years ago. He said how stupid nation building is. And look at him. He's doing nation building. The guy is a walking, talking hypocrite.
But when you say the guy is ignorant, by the way, these are God-fearing Christians you're talking about. You really believe that MAGA likes to watch other people's misery?
Well, they actually, they don't like, I mean, for being real, they don't like brown people.
Ooh.
They don't like brown people, bro. And they don't like strong women either.
Really?
Yeah.
What have you seen from MAGA to indicate they don't like strong?
Every time I'm in my live, when I use like a Sylvia or one of my other really strong, driven women, they cannot handle a woman that knows the facts. They get in their feelings. I have to stop them because I could chew their ass and they won't say a word to me. But I will watch one of them ladies chew their ass, dog walk them, and they want to. I called one of my friend the B word today. I gave him a chance to apologize. I had to boot his ass out because he disrespected. He couldn't handle the moment with a strong woman. Most of these MAGA, if we're being real, Tim, most of these MAGA folks, these MAGA men, they have a view of a woman, and that woman's either on her back or in the kitchen making him something to eat. You know what I mean? That's the facts of it. They don't like a strong woman. They don't think a girl can grow up to be anything. They just think a girl's supposed to grow up and get married and be the property of that man.
Damn.
That's what it is. And I've raised my girls to be anything they want to be. You are not the property of somebody. You can be anything you want in this country.
Yeah, and I see in the comments the handsome conservative says, damn right, make me a sandwich. So...
Well, yeah, I'm telling you, these guys, and unfortunately, some of the women in there, they don't believe a woman should be president. They want to dumb themselves down too. I'm like, well, you keep that shit to yourself. I want women out there to believe they can do anything, young ladies. Not these MAGA folks, not this Republican Party. They don't like women, bro.
I was going to say, it's interesting you said it because Trump won the women's vote. If Trump is so hard on women, why did they? Kamala Harris
vote?
Huh?
What proof you said that Trump won the women's vote?
Now, obviously, black women voted for Kamala Harris, but out of all, if you take the women's vote as a whole, Trump won the women's vote.
What's the percentage that he won? You mean a guy who wanted that one time, he wanted to lock women up if they had an AB? You're trying to say that?
I'm just saying it's obviously the majority white women. I mean,
he won. He won white people and white dudes. Okay,
he won white women too.
I believe most women know what he is and know what a scumbag he is.
I'm pretty sure that he got more female votes than Kamala Harris did. He won.
Well, we also had to realize something. Unfortunately, women don't think a woman should be president. There's a lot of women that think that, and they self-hate. They do. I don't understand. If you can have women governors, you can have women senators, women representatives, but you telling me you're looking at this dumb son of a bitch that's in there? He has a testicle. I guess he had to look for it. You know what I mean? And you're telling me this guy, it requires a testicle to be a president? Get out of here. Because you know what? Guess what? When you give the order, the boom booms drop just like it would if it's a man calling it. It ain't like you're out there fighting some fight. Okay, Donald Trump ain't never fought for a damn thing besides the last fry at the bottom of that McDonald's bag.
Well,
I can't. That guy is stupid as shit.
Well, he is fighting for this country, if you ask MAGA. And by the way, I stand corrected. He didn't win the women's vote. According to AI, he did not win. Yeah, he did not win the women's vote. This is just in your life. I ain't gonna call you. No, call me out, goddammit. I am not right all the time.
Women are smart, man. Women are smart. Men, we're not very smart. You know, I mean, sometimes we're kind of dumb.
Yeah, it says while Trump did not win the women's vote, while Trump did not win women overall, he improved his performance with them compared to 2020. He received about 46% of the women's vote, up from 44%. So he did not win the women's vote. So, but still, that's a lot of them, though.
So unfortunately, I bet that's some self-hating women there.
Well, I'm just saying,
being honest.
So women can't complain about saying that that MAGA or the Republicans or Trump is oppressed to them. You're voting for the guy. You're right.
The one thing you just want to push on these guys is this guy said no new wars, and he was going to be America first. If you look at Argentina, the $40 billion bailout, you look at Venezuela, you look at that is not America first. This guy's mind is so set overseas and doing this shit. The prices of goods at the stores are still up. People can't afford their health care. The e-files are out there. He doesn't want to answer to the shit here at home, so he is starting all types of shit across the pond and putting us in incredibly bad places. Our men and women are, if we're going to be honest, we're committing war crimes out there in Venezuela when we did that double tap. We had two people hanging on to a boat that we already hit. And then they hit it again. And Cake Seth, he didn't want to put out the video.
Wait, what is the name again?
Cake Seth. Yeah, he's a drunk. Cake Seth. That guy's a drunken moron. He's a frat boy running the Department of Defense. It's the Department of Defense, you morons. Not the
You think that'll end up going back? You think that'll end up going back to that?
It's not even changed legally. He has to do Congress. These dumbasses are changing the words, and they ain't even got Congress to do it. The guy has the House and the Senate and can't even get words changed. How weak of a man and weak of a leader are you? And you can't even get that done. You weak ass orange buffoon of an idiot.
No, you really come strong. Now, one of the arguments one of my other callers presented, and some of my MAGA viewers are pushing back on, do you believe that Trump needed congressional approval for what just happened in Venezuela?
I think so. I think so. I think it's embarrassing, bro. I think that he likes. It's why he likes pardons. He doesn't have to ask permission. And apparently he likes doing these drone strikes because he doesn't think he needs permission. He can take the lives of upwards, I believe, 107 people on these boats. And I argued this for 5 hours with people. And they said, it's because the shape of the boat and how many motors on it. I'm like, what? Wouldn't it be cool if we...
I got a viewer on here, MAGA React, says that all the time, that these could not be fishing boats because they got four outboard motors.
The thing is, Tim, if we're being honest, our people in our country here, we're stopping boats. I mean, it was the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard have stopped all types of folks from bringing stuff in. They go onto the boat, they find the stuff, and they're like, whoa, okay, they found a record amount, Tim. We're not blowing people up on our waters outside America. And also, I don't think it's a worthy thing to take someone's life. What makes America great, man, is that we abide by the rule of law. And we're not China, we're not Russia, we're not North Korea, man. And what Donald Trump is doing to us is he's making us that. We are becoming what we were fighting against. America stood for what was great, and we're not great right now with Donald Trump. We're a shell of ourselves. he brings out the worst of us, Tim.
Mm.
The worst of us.
What about
the
folks who
bigot-
point out that Obama was using drones and things like that?
And I love it when they bring that up, Tim, because I separate the two. A smuggler, a person that is bringing illegal substance, an American wants to buy that, right? It's illegal, it's wrong, it's not healthy, but an American wants to buy it. It's a product that an American wants to buy.
Yep.
The difference between somebody in a cave overseas and Obama took out what that individual want to bring, American doesn't want to buy. We're not trying to be blown up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't compare a T group member to a smuggler. That guy's a businessman. This guy's a psychopath trying to blow up people. He's got some jihadi crap in his head that he's wanting to blow up, or some other individual's a nut job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One dude's a businessman, one's a nut job.
Yeah, and that's
not the same.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, but Trump is trying to put ISIS and and drug smugglers in the same category, saying that they're all T
it's
groups.
not. I mean, if you talk to Don Jr., you might want to make sure that he's not unalived his supplier, because you've watched a couple of these. Donnie, man, he's wiping his nose. He's doing some stuff, man. He looking a little, you know what I mean? You seen the clips?
You sure you're not talking about Hunter Biden?
No, Hunter Biden had a drinking problem, man. But
did they find some coke in the White House under the Biden administration?
Oh yeah, I know that just conveniently found out someone dropped that there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, well, moderate. Always good to see you on here, man. Thanks for coming through.
It was, it was good talking to you, man. People, hey, you guys need to be tapping the screen for this guy. Hook this guy up. This is pain and suffering that he goes through. This bringing these guys up, these smooth brain freaking Trump pumpers. These poor guy be suffering through this, man.
Well, I'm definitely getting over.
Feeding this guy.
Yeah, I'm getting over the flu, but we still MAGA friendly as long as we can be.
Oh my Lord,
we MAGA friendly as long as we can be.
I'm not. I bring them up, but I'm definitely not MAGA friendly. God bless you, bro. You're a good man.
Thank you. Moderate out. Appreciate it. Good talk.
Man, take it easy.
You too, man. That's moderate. Definitely a friend. Looking in the comments here. Damn right, man. Okay, I don't know what I'm looking at here. Oh wow. What am I looking at here? This man is not thinking clearly. He thinks the world is abundantly infinite, like I did when I was 12. What do you mean by that? I'm just going to say one of the things I absolutely agree with my last caller on is that President Trump campaigned on, he promised to get us out of overseas conflicts. He's not doing that. He's not doing, and this is one reason why I believe that with MAGA, President Trump can do no wrong, because if he had got us out of overseas conflicts like he promised, MAGA would be giving him credit. Promises made, promises kept. But because he's getting us in so many conflicts, well, then they just switch the mindset and they start giving him credit for things that are coming out of that. I mean, so it doesn't matter what he does. It's going to be right. It doesn't matter. He promised to get us out of this stuff. Not to mention, I don't know why Argentina's getting a bailout. Well, they got reason for that too. Venezuela isn't overseas; it's in our backyard. It is overseas. It's over 1,000 miles away. Yeah, all of this backyard shit. When you look at I guess you folks feel that everything south of the border, all the way down to the tip of Brazil, is our backyard. Everything in the Western Hemisphere is supposed to be controlled by the United States. That's playing the world's police. That's something Trump was indicating he would get out of. Well, it's in our backyard. I don't know. To me, it's ridiculous. Drug dealers punch in the air today. No, they're not. I don't think most of the drug dealers are coming from Venezuela. You think anybody in this country right now, because of what happened with Maduro or the 11 or 12 boats they got blown up, you think anybody in this country right now is having a hard time getting high? If somebody wanted to go out and buy some coke, some schmack, a little fent, you think they're having a hard time getting that because of what happened with Venezuela? I don't think that has anything to do with that. And now that Maduro has been captured, I don't think we're going to spend much time bombing boats anymore, because it wasn't about bombing boats. It was about making life miserable for Maduro until he either surrendered or got captured. Now that he's been captured, all of our vessels, our boats and shit in that area are going to disperse and leave the area, and it'll go right back to where it was. I don't think there's anything in that. Let me go back to the box. Looking at it is about oil. That's definitely part of it. That is absolutely part of it. And I tried to bring up one of my guests here. It didn't work like that. So we'll try it again with Denkow. Somebody said I look like Debo from Friday. Zach, I don't block, ban, or censor, but if you're typing the same shit over and over again, I will have to block you. You've gotten your point across. He's saying I look like Debo from Friday, but he's typing it 1,000,000 times. I'm trying not to block you, Zach. Denkow, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, so we're in control of Venezuela. What say you?
Are we?
Trump said we're going to run it.
That's it. We gonna run it. He ain't say how. And one thing a lot of these people don't understand is that the person that beat Maduro in that last election is not in prison. She's in exile. She was the one who won the Nobel Peace Prize. And today, Donald Trump was the one who said, I don't know if we're going to bring her back.
Wait a minute. So I had a caller said that. So you're saying that because Maduro's supposed to be the illegitimate leader, and in my last caller, that caller was saying that Maduro locked up his opponent. You're saying that didn't happen.
I'm not sure if he locked up any other political appointment, so I'm not going to say that. But it was a female that won the election.
Okay.
And she went into exile because, remember, he refused to leave. So he was going to lock her ass up if he would have caught her. But she got out of the country.
Oh, well, that's just as bad. Okay, I get. So
now she's politicking to try to get the people that's still there in the country to support her so she can come and be president. But now they asked Trump, hey, since y'all said it was a legitimate election that she won, is you gonna bring her back? And he started humming up, well, we got to see. So he's not even committed to bringing her back. He's talking about we're gonna put somebody in place that's gonna, do what we talk.
He's going to find somebody that talks like Rubio or Hegseth. He's going to find somebody that's going to be speaking very fair. He may put her back in there after she has a talk with him, and he makes sure that she's going to say all the right shit. He may give her the job back. We need to, we need a certain amount of your oil, or we need to be control of this or that, or you can't do this or that. She might get the job if she knows how to kiss. Isn't she the one that gave him the Nobel Peace Prize and tried to say that she would give it to him?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So these people on here talking about a bunch of stuff they don't necessarily understand, and that's fine. But I mean, they saying it with their whole chest. They going from he's a man of peace to we don't care if he blow up everything around the country and around the world. It happened over here, where it happened over there, where it happened, it was in our backyard, where it happened over here. Dude, they don't give a shit what he does. You said it 1,000 times. Whatever he says, they agree with it. And when he do the opposite, they agree with that.
Yeah, that is 100% true. I wish I could say otherwise. I mean, because the Argentina thing has nothing to do with America First, and they agree with that. I mean, that is like I said, it's kind of like the way you would view view a deity. God doesn't come when you want, but he comes right on time, or God works in mysterious ways. No matter what God does, at the end of the day, you're going to thank him for doing it. And that's kind of how Trump is. No matter what he does, at the end of the day, you're going to think that he did the right thing. He's playing chess. Maybe we don't understand it, but he's playing. God works in mysterious ways. That's how they view him.
And all of this stuff he's doing, now all of this information, now he's literally putting out what would be classified pictures of a foreign leader being kidnapped, in my opinion, on Truth Social. He's not even using official, communication. He's doing that. So guess what? They saying like Truth Social almost crashed because everybody was rushing to Truth Social to fucking get this picture that should have been, if it was released at all, should have been on official channels. So he's benefiting because now everybody's trying to be a part of Truth Social so they can make sure that they get the latest shit from him.
But they don't care about none of that. But they care about motherfucking Hunter Biden ripping off Ukraine because he was working for an oil and gas industry. And he didn't rip nobody off but the Ukrainians, but they mad about that. But hell, Trump's son's getting goddamn contracts with Vulcan. Billions of dollars.
But let me ask you this, because I get, like my last caller, moderate, was saying that, Trump is stupid and things like that. To me, he's got to come across as one of the, I guess I would say one of the smartest guys we've ever had, even if you want to say he's corrupt. The guy's making a killing. He's negotiating every hurdle they throw in his way, from impeachments to charges. He is winning. When he say you're going to get tired of winning. Now, he's not talking, MAGA is not winning, but MAGA is taking pleasure in his victories. I get it. But Trump is winning. I mean, why do people keep saying that he's dumb and he's stupid? He's getting away with anything he wants to do.
Right, but he's got people in place that are helping him do this. This is not all of his, he's not thinking of all of this shit. We already know all of the crypto shit was because he listened to Barron.
Okay.
It's not because he's intelligent. It's because he's got people around him and he's got the funding to make this shit happen. It doesn't make all of that stuff that he was doing before. Nobody was calling him. Well, I was calling him stupid. When he was bankrupting those casinos, nobody was saying, wow, what a great businessman he was. But he had the internal funding, he had the banks, and he had his father's, his inheritance.
Okay, but then give him credit for knowing how to put together a successful team to help him.
He's just going with the people who are loyal to him. When you have people that are loyal to, when he's got somebody like Stephen Miller in the background, who's writing all of this shit that got to do with deportations and everything. It's got nothing to do. I bet you Trump don't even care about deporting people. But he got the people in place, the Heritage Foundation. He's got all of these people in place that are pushing this agenda. He doesn't care as long as it floats him at the same time.
Well, I'm just simply saying the guy is getting super rich. And even when folks saying that he's a crook, because I see in the comments, Debbie says, give him credit for being a crook. Then he should receive credit for being one of the most successful crooks we've ever seen. He's put together a really good crew.
He's not. The dude is worth for like $6 billion, bro. He's nowhere near the richest con man ever.
You think right now, as we speak, Trump is only worth $6 billion?
Yes.
I don't believe that. I think he's worth a lot more than that. I mean,
well, okay, but the richest people in the world are worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and he ain't nowhere near $100 billion.
Well, my guess is once the Democrats are in control again, sometime in the future, it will come out one day how much Trump made in 2025 and how much he made in this second term. My guess is it's going to be an astronomical number. I think Trump made more money in 2025 since he took office than he did his previous 78 years of life. I don't know if it's $6 billion.
Exactly. So that should tell you something. That his wealth is the foundation of it is him being the president.
Oh, I agree with that. I agree that the presidency is enriching him. I definitely agree with that.
Okay, well then, if you can say right now, they're saying publicly that he's tripled his wealth. So that means if he's worth $6 to $7 billion on paper, that means he was worth about $2 billion before he even started this whole endeavor, which means that he's not brilliant. I mean, did he con and take advantage of a lot of people and get where he's at? Yes. Did he take advantage of the crypto industry now that he's got regulatory power over them to be able to start his own cryptos and all of that stuff, which should be illegal? Yes, but that doesn't make him smart. That just means he take advantage of the system that he inherited when he became the president. The only thing I think he was smart about was the way he talked to people who had nothing in common with him and convinced them that somehow he gave a shit about them. These people running around talking about, yeah, look what we doing. They said don't fuck with America and all that stuff. Like, if you don't understand that America, the amount we spend on defense is more than the top 10 countries after us. No shit, we was able to go in there and snatch Maduro up. No shit, we could drop a bunker buster on Iran. No shit, nobody can fuck with us in that area.
You know what I think in regards to what you're talking about, because we used to spend all the money on defense here, and other countries would, spend a lackluster amount of money because they knew America had their back, and they would do righteous things like give their citizens health care and all that shit. I think after the Trump administration, you're going to have a whole lot more countries realize that we got to focus more on our own defense. I think defense spending among a lot of our allies and things like that is about to go up because Trump has shown that America doesn't always have to be the good guy. We can go rogue. And I think a lot of these countries are starting to see that. Now, Trump hasn't went fully rogue, but I'm sure he's scared a lot of people, certainly with the tariffs alone. So I expect defense spending amongst other countries in Europe and things like that to go up.
Right, correct. And I believe that is true. And that is what we call a proliferation of arms. That is not good.
No,
that's like
not.
saying in America, the more weapons, the safer we gonna be. We know from experience that's not true. If you just start putting weapons all over these small countries and these rogue nations, it's gonna be a fucking problem for everybody else. We set up the world order back after the World War, so no, these countries didn't have to proliferate. We said, look, we gonna take care of it. We gonna handle we gonna take care of the big, large problems in the world so we don't have another World War II. We're gonna take responsibility.
Yeah.
What did we tell? We told Ukraine, give us your nukes, and then we won't let nobody fuck with y'all. If you turn them over, make sure we don't have these strays running around the world, we gonna take care of y'all. Soon as this shit popped up, oh, well, it was their fault because they wanted to try to get into NATO. Dude, that ain't have shit to do with Russia running up in there. We already knew it. They used that as a pretense, talking about they was in our backyard.
Yeah, what is all this backyard shit? I'm hearing that over and over from Maya. What the hell? The whole Western Hemisphere, all the way down to the tip of Brazil, all of that's our backyard or something?
We kind of started that shit back with the Cuban Missile Crisis when we told Russia, you can't have nuclear weapons in our backyard because they were going to try to put some in Cuba. That's why.
But at least Cuba's only 90 miles away. Venezuela is not our backyard. Don't expand that far.
They're a whole country, Mexico, away from us.
Yeah. Aren't they like almost damn near on the other side of the equator or some shit? Like damn.
They down there in the southern hemisphere. We up here talking about what you can't do in our hemisphere, but we America first. Now you talking about Cuba, and now now everybody's in the fucking crosshairs of a man who said he wanted the peace prize and he just wanted all the killing to stop. Remember when he said that?
Yeah.
I just want to kill it. Well, what you gonna do about Ukraine? I just want the killing to stop. What about in God? I just want the killing to stop.
Well, I think the thing is what Trump is doing is smart, at least from his side, for what he's trying to accomplish. Is he's starting shit with countries that really can't pose any type of retaliatory issues with America. I mean, whether it's Iran, Nigeria, Yemen, now talking about Venezuela, he's threatening Colombia. None of these countries can really put up a fight. I mean, he's made all kinds of threats to Putin in regards to getting him to stop the Ukraine war. Putin ain't listening to none of that shit. We're not going into Putin. I mean, going into Russia. We're not going to strike Russia.
Well, we know where all the fentanyl comes from. It comes from China.
Yeah. Well, this is something I ask on the program all the time. How did Venezuela become known as this major drug hub?
They never were. Trump just made them that by just saying it, by just picking on them, deciding to blow up, because he had to have context to go in there and take their fucking oil.
Is it that easy to do? Trump said it, therefore it shall be.
Hey, and I think they're gonna continue to shoot at those boats. I think they almost have to, because you got to remember, some of this stuff is going to court. Some of this stuff is going to criminal court. Some of the stuff is going to American courts about what's going on. And if he just stops, when his whole premise in the beginning was about drugs, now you go in there and say, we're going to take the oil, and then you stop worrying about the drugs, it's going to be a problem because they already filed with the DOJ. They filed a lawsuit against Maduro, but it didn't say nothing about fentanyl, and it didn't say nothing about anything except for cocaine. That was the only thing in there. So he started this all by saying it was about fentanyl.
Yeah.
If you remember.
Yeah. So
now he's talking about, well, yeah, we're gonna take the oil and it belongs to us and the land and all of that stuff. We're gonna put in whoever we want to. Bro, this stuff is gonna be frowned on, and I'm not saying that Trump is gonna have to pay for this shit. But it's going to be frowned upon on these criminal courts and these international courts. And when all of these other countries like China is already starting, they did their latest round of drills around Taiwan where they surrounded the whole fucking country. And yesterday, Xi Jinping came out and said, hey, the reunification with Taiwan is inevitable.
So at this point, if China, I mean, there's only so much America can say at this point. The way we're acting, we can't say shit. I mean, not to mention how busy we are dealing with all these other countries. This would be a perfect time for China to strike right now.
To go in there and say, I wish you would say something.
We got so much going. I mean, Trump has put so much on our plate between, I mean, obviously he's blaming the Russia-Ukraine war on Biden still, but he's doing nothing to solve it. It's gotten worse under his watch. I mean, obviously now we're dealing with this Venezuela shit. I mean, I don't know what's going to come out of some of the other conflicts. But then, of course, yeah, like I said, if China decides to go into Taiwan, I don't think Trump could be held. I don't think Trump would be responsible for. I mean, I don't see him standing up and defending Taiwan to begin with. I don't think he would help them.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't, especially right now. We got our hands in so many damn pots. First of all, China know that they got us by the balls because we done showed our hand with these rare earth minerals. And remember, Trump had to go and so he could get some of those rare earth minerals flowing. If they were to take Taiwan, which would be the chip manufacturing, which they wouldn't need to rely on America, and they got the rare earth minerals, they got us by the balls. But people don't think in terms of that. They think in terms of, oh, look, we bullying Venezuela. We dropping bombs in Nigeria. For what?
So do you see it like my other viewers, moderates say, do you see MAGA as a group of people that like watching the misery of others?
Oh yeah, that's become plainly obvious to me. You can look in the comments. People talking about let's hear the tears because a dictator no longer has control of a country. That's the reverse shit of what you were saying when Trump was saying no new wars. Yeah. You can't come out and tell me and say I'm not defending no dictator. We know Maduro was a piece of shit. But then again, we said it's not our job to police the world.
That is true.
So which is it going to be? Because I know that as a former military member, I know it's a bunch of people out here on goddamn cruises right now that shouldn't fucking be. And it's pissed the fuck off that they out there in the middle of the goddamn ocean or over in all these foreign fucking countries with their life in jeopardy. Ain't nobody said a word about the motherfucking soldiers that just got killed about a month ago under Trump's watch. We ain't heard a fucking word about that.
Who are you talking about? Which soldiers?
Shoot, where was they at? Over in Yemen. Oh, it's Syria. Was it Syria or Yemen? Those I think it was 2 or 3 soldiers got killed.
Okay, I know.
They got ambushed on their base. Like, ain't nobody talking about all of that, the real shit that's happening in the world. Everybody's sitting in their co-pilot seat and shit, and when Trump say we winning, they think somehow they winning, but ain't shit. Look, they still ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, but they talking about, look, at we winning and y'all losing. I ain't losing shit, but I'm just disappointed in this fucking country and the way it's reacting to shit that we said time and time again. We do not believe in that shit. We don't believe in regime change because them people that was dancing in the fucking streets, they don't understand our track record with regime change. You look at any country we done went in and did regime change and show me one of them motherfuckers that's doing good right now. We go in, we suck up all the goddamn resources, and we walk the fuck out.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think that probably explains it better than anything. Is they don't realize the end result of this is that you're right. I don't think we've ever went into a country and did a regime change and the country benefited from it. Trump has shown no love to the Venezuelan immigrants that have come to this country. In fact, that's one of his shithole countries, is it not? So right. the idea that he's going to go and do what's right by the Venezuelan people is kind of comical.
They can't come here. People can't travel there, but somehow the people think like, oh, this is a great thing. When the man done told you, we dare to suck up all your fucking natural resources. The whole reason why they fucked up and now is because they finally voted somebody in who said, no, y'all not gonna keep on taking all of our fucking oil and give us y'all ass to kiss. So they nationalized their oil.
How about this in the comments? I think it says Rad Calgo. It says all of South America can access the homeland. He's talking about the Monroe Doctrine. All of South America
can access what?
Our country, the homeland. So he's indicating that the Monroe Doctrine, I suppose, gives us this is our backyard argument. Because anybody that is in the Western Hemisphere, so to speak, can access America. I guess Monroe Doctrine gives us some right to take adverse action against. I mean, like literally any country from Chile to Brazil, all the way on up, I guess, to Canada. I mean, all of that stuff is in our backyard.
Yeah, it's all in our backyard. Well, then how come France was in charge of fucking? It was in front of that. They was in charge of Haiti. They've been part of goddamn the Dominican Republic. All of them islands were split up after the war. It had shit to do with the Monroe Doctrine.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I think the our backyard thing almost sounds like we're trying to take over the fucking world. I got to move it on, though, Cal, but this is distressing to me. I don't see this as a reason to celebrate, but MAGA sees it differently.
Just one more quick thing. Now we've all known when Trump was going to court in America why he didn't want to go in handcuffs and he didn't want to do the perp walk and stuff, right? Because they said it was going to
like Maduro.
Exactly. It was going to make the jury impartial, and you don't want to do that when you're taking somebody to court, especially this big of a case. And what is the first thing our president does is put this man in motherfucking captivity all over the goddamn world.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers won't. When it was Trump, we can't do that to him because he's going to be going to court now in the Southern District of New York under the same situation as Trump. But guess what the Trump people going to say? What's the big deal? You know, he was a bad person. Yeah. Hypocrites.
Well, they believe that Trump is innocent of all that stuff. So it was all the witch. It's all the witch.
He's innocent of every fucking thing. Everything. It don't matter. We got the girl talking about she witnessed Trump doing some shit to kids in the Epstein files, and everybody just moving the fuck on like we didn't see what we just saw.
I gotta say it pays to be Trump. I want to come back as Trump. Shit. Yeah. I mean, I want to come back. I mean, this man got a force field around him. I want to
be on Fifth Avenue and just shoot somebody, and people will still be like, "Well, what the person do?"
I think at this point, I think he could commit a massacre on Fifth Avenue, and they would let him.
He already has 100 and some people being blown out of the water. He's killing people in Nigeria who ain't had shit to do with no ethnic cleansing or no crimes against Christians. He's doing this shit. He killed all of them damn people and scientists and people that worked at those nuclear plants. Them people's innocent fucking people. That's murder, man.
All right, then, Cal. Depressing conversation, man. I appreciate you coming through, though.
All right, take care.
You too. I'm having a hard time holding it together. I'm getting over the flu, and man, I'm just sitting here still kind of loopy here. Tap the screen. Thank you guys that are. Get the likes on up to 80,000. You don't want to be that pitiful, says T-Mac. More time off for the pregnant moms. Simple. What do you mean by that? Real quick, looking in the comments before we move on. Nigeria asked for the help. Here's the problem I have with that. I don't. Did the leadership of Nigeria ask for our help? I'm like, You're telling me that they couldn't handle that? You telling me they had a problem in their country that was that severe? They had to ask the United States for help from all the way over here. Here's where I have the issue with what Trump did with USAID, and thank you for that. I think that says someone. That's a unique name. Someone, thank you for that TikTok cap. Thank you, folks that are helping support the program, help us reach that TikTok cap goal. Thank you. Here's the problem I have. When it came to USAID, when Trump became president, we stopped sending money overseas. And we started sending missiles. So Nigeria, this is what some of my MAGA viewers, my beloved MAGA, are saying, is that, Nigeria asked Trump for help to, blow up these people that were supposedly persecuting Christians or whatever. Knowing damn well if Nigeria had to ask for help in the form of rice or grain or some food to help feed some of his citizens that may need, may be hungry or something, wouldn't have done that. He's not helping any people overseas anymore in terms of medical care or any of the things that USAID used to do. But I'll blow some shit up for you. How about that? I won't send you any money, but if you need a $500,000 cruise missile, tell me where to aim that at. Does that seem right? Does that seem right? And Debo, you said where the proof of that? The proof is in we got rid of USAID, so we're not sending money overseas to any countries no more. But we're blowing people up in other countries. That's the proof, is that we're no longer sending assistance. We're only sending ordnance. I think, you said Nigeria didn't ask for anything. Oh, I haven't seen any proof that Nigeria asked for help either. I'm hearing that from MAGA, but I'm not seeing any proof of that either. Continuing on with the program though. Good evening, Kabira. Thank you. Good evening. And the people don't get it fitter. I don't know what you're saying. Sending missiles sound like New World Order. Yeah, he'll send destruction, but he's not going to send assistance. That does seem kind of harsh. What oil companies is going to take over? Well, Trump claims that, I guess he's saying that Venezuela stiffed some of our oil companies out of money or something like that. So he's already made it clear that we're going to send oil companies to Nigeria. They're going to spend billions of dollars to get the refineries back up to par. And we're going to then take whatever we deem that Venezuela owes us. And I guess the rest will go back to that country. But I don't believe that we're over there for the best interest of the Venezuelan people. I don't believe that at all. I believe we're over there for our best interest. But we'll see. And I totally agree with my last caller in saying that them folks out there cheering on America, liberating them, so to speak, they don't know the history of America. We haven't liberated anybody that's happy we came over there and liberated them. When we leave, it's usually not a good place to be. Anyway, looking in the comments, though, do you think Russia and China will, Arlita, your comment got chopped off. That's propaganda, and we've been trying to rob them for decades. Well, I think we successfully committed the heist. We are protecting them from a dictator. No, we're not. No, we're not. Since when do we care about protecting people from dictators? There are dictators all around the world. We're going to protect every group of citizenry from dictators. Look, we came up with an excuse because they got oil. If Venezuela did not have oil, we wouldn't give a shit about them being under a dictatorship. We wouldn't give a damn about that. We are over there to help. Look at the mess that's in Haiti. We're not going to help them people out. They got nothing but marauders and gangsters and shit killing people at will. We're not helping them out at all because they don't have any resources. We don't care about the people of Venezuela being under a dictatorship. We use that as an excuse to go in there to get access to the oil. It's as simple as that. There's a lot of Venezuelans and Cubans celebrating in Florida. Where is ICE? If you're Venezuela or Cuban and you're celebrating this in Florida, you, my sir or ma'am, are an idiot. First of all, you're right. ICE may come in there because the same MAGA that will celebrate Trump doing what he did in Venezuela will pick up the phone and call ICE on you for celebrating. So, yeah, if you're Venezuela, a whole bunch of Venezuelans or a whole bunch of Cubanos should not congregate outside together right now. It's just not safe for you. Yes, the dumbologist, can't you be here legally? What's wrong with you people? What's wrong is that they've been given a right to profile. Doesn't matter if you're here legally or illegally. If you're brown and you're here legally, they can still fuck with you. That's been, I think the courts ruled that that's okay for them to do. So doesn't matter if you're here legally or not. They still can fuck with you. Let me go back to the box. America is threatened for the world peace. Huh? Gangsta grandma. Good evening.
Oh, Fluffy, you so sick. Oh, pretty cat. Dude, that's time you had to rub your ugly little bald head. Poor Tink Tink.
How you feeling? We are now in control of Venezuela. How you feeling about that?
That's not cool. Oh, we so fucked. Oh, we are.
How are we fucked? We're going to get oil. We might make money out of this.
Do you really think Russia and them and the Cubans are going to let that shit happen without a fight?
You think
Russia only came out and wants to know why they did it. China came out and said why the hell they do it.
Yeah, but you think they're going to really do anything and take action on it?
Hell yeah. Do you think this? You're playing with their money. And all this is not behind the D. Oh, believe that. It's not. It's all about power. And the same motherfuckers are celebrating it's going to destroy the country.
Wait. It's going to destroy the Venezuelan country.
Yeah. You think he gives a fuck about this? It's all about money.
Well,
and then you have the maggots. Oh, my God. This is a win. No, it's not a win.
Well, what about if it end up making the price of gas in America $1.50 a gallon? Would that be a win?
We don't get their oil like that. It usually goes to China and Russia.
It'll be going to us now.
Who's going to? Oh my God! You know what, Tim? I can't stand your fluffing ass. Get the cock out your mouth. I swear to God.
No.
Even if you're sick, you got the cock in your mouth. Golly.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you're gagging on it, aren't you?
No.
Hallelujah.
Okay, wait a minute.
You're gagging on it.
That's not gagging on cock. First of all.
Yeah, you are. Because you're going to say, well, we're going to get enough. We're not going to get that oil. We did this shit for, I don't know why he's doing it. He probably doesn't want us to vote.
Well, what do you mean you don't know why he's doing it? He's doing it because there's profit to be made in it. So.
Yeah, there's profit and he's going to try to steal it, but do you really think the other countries are going to let them do it?
It's already been done.
No, it hasn't. No one has touched that oil.
America is there. We've already made it clear we're going to run it. So what do you?
You know what? Let me tell you something about Iran and shit. They have sleeper cells here. And you're a stupid fool if you think we're safe. And they're going to hit us. And they're going to hit us hard. Because of a numbskull, we have a baboon in fucking office. And if people think I'm joking, you're going to fuck around and find out.
So you're saying you believe because of what we've done in Venezuela, there will be some sort of terrorist attack in America? Or
hell yeah, it's going to be. If people think, oh, no, it ain't going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. Because now our allies are even against what we just did.
Let me ask that to you folks watching by way of yes or no in the comments. How many of you agree with her, yes or no, that due to our actions, it will likely lead to some sort of a terrorist attack? Yes or no in the comments. I'm curious to see that. Wow. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it. The crazy thing is I got a lot of MAGA on YouTube, a lot of liberals on TikTok. My YouTube was full of no's.
Because they're stupid. They're fucking stupid. They drink his cum, okay? They free ball his cum. Oh yes, master. Yes, they believe everything this motherfucker says. If they tell them to go jump off a fucking cliff, they will do it. That's how pathetic and weak-minded the maggots are. They believe everything this man is doing. And what he's doing is fucking up Venezuela. And then when he's done fucking it all up, right? Who's going to come back to the United States? The Venezuelans, because they don't have nothing over there. He's going to rip everything from them and destroy their country. And then they're going to cry, oh my God, we're being invaded. Well, you motherfucker, you did it. Like they did to Haiti. Haiti was free before the United States was. They was richer than...
You know it. You already know.
They was richer than the United States was. And look what the United States did to them. Tell me I'm lying.
Yeah.
And look at it.
And I see in the comments that Mr. G says just because the MAGA brains are gullible doesn't mean the rest of ours are. Well, I mean, so that's great. So in other words, we as the citizens can face some sort of horrible event.
It's coming. They got sleeper cells here. Russia is already going to, it's going to hurt us big. They're going to do some F shit to us. They are. Tim, they are. All behind, he wants the oil. He don't care nothing about those people. And I feel sorry for the people because they really think the United States is on their side, but they're not. Yeah, they just want the oil.
Here's what I don't get. Do they not get television down there? Do they not see what's happening to the Hispanics, including Venezuelans, in our country under the Trump presidency? Do they not see what he's doing to some of their people here? Why would
the people over here are celebrating? The Venezuelans over here. Oh my God! Thank you, Trump. Get off your knees, because he don't give a damn about you. Still, you know what's so funny? The same people are supporting him are the same ones that he's deporting. Isn't that crazy?
I'm just gonna say, in my opinion, it's starting to make some Hispanics look like they fucking stupid. I mean, like how much stuff did he got to do to you before you?
They are the special ed dropout. They want to be white so bad. Yes, master, the house ninjas. Yes, master, I'll do anything to be white. Yes, master.
Yeah, like why would
forget where they come from?
I mean, this guy don't make it clear that you're garbage and shit like that, and you're on TV celebrating his actions. I mean, they think he's trying to make Venezuela great or something. Venezuela great again or something.
Venezuela's never going to be great. I am sorry, but they're never going to be great. They're going to be worse off having that white T-man coming up in there. Because all he wants is the oil. He even said he's going after Colombia and all that stuff next. Like, who does he think he is?
He is our president. He is the guy we elected.
I didn't vote for him.
Here's a message that just came in. I think this is from the UK. The UK has long supported the transition of power in Venezuela. We regarded Maduro as an illegitimate president. So apparently the UK also wanted him gone. But
no, I don't care. Everybody wanted him gone. Okay, yeah, cool. Get him gone. But the way he did it wasn't cool. He didn't even have Congress permission.
Well, they're claiming that he didn't have to. China is deeply shocked by and strongly condemns the U.S. blatant use of force against a sovereign state in action against its president. That's China's message. So the Chinese are not very happy with it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean,
China's not happy with it. I'm telling you that they are going. It's going to be a big rumble. Well, he just started, and we don't need a Cold War.
I cannot.
China's not happy. What is it called? Russia is not happy. Iran is not happy. Like he just thinks he could come in because he's white tea and do shit.
Well,
I don't know what the hell.
I don't think this has anything to do with him thinking he's because he's white.
Yes, Tim, it does, man. Shut up. Get it out your mouth.
This has nothing to do with race. Look, Trump.
It does too. He thinks he could do anything, Tim, to black and brown people.
Okay, my guess is Trump thinks he can do anything to anybody he wants. It ain't got nothing to do with just black and brown
whatever,
people.
Tim.
I mean, shit.
Why is he not going out to Germany then? Huh? Why is he not doing that, Tim?
Because Germany ain't did shit.
All he named was all black and brown countries, Tim.
He's talking about taking over Greenland. He's talking about making Canada the 51st state.
He's not going to take over Greenland. He's just talking.
You don't.
He ain't going to do that.
You feel?
He sure do want to take over all the so-called brown. All the so-called brown.
I don't think it's just race, Grandma.
Shut up.
I don't think it's
Get
just
the cock out your mouth.
I think Trump was born at the finish line. He's been a privileged person all his life.
No, that's one other thing. But you know what? It's not all about what you think. It's more deeper. It's about the oil. It's about black and brown people. It's about all kinds of crap. He wants to be control. He wants to controlling, be a dictator. And then you have little maggots kissing his ass. Oh, yeah, go. But yet, the hell they don't know is if you think the gas prices are low, they're going to go skyrocketing.
And I see in the comments someone said Greenland is geopolitical strategy dummy. So in other words, how do you take over somebody else's country because it's strategically beneficial to you? I mean, that's insane that somebody is defending that, saying it is geopolitical strategy.
That's why, like he said, how many times does he tell them? I like the uneducated, and the smart people are mad at me. He says it right to their fucking face, Tim. Right to their fucking face. And what do they say? Yes, master. Yes, master. You know, he's all for us. The poor people, this is how fucking crazy it is. The poor people are fixing to get screwed in the ass without lube, okay? The ACA is so bad right now, okay? The Florida is going to FAFO.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm not hearing a lot of MAGA crying out about the end of the subsidy city.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. They're already complaining about it, Tim. You've seen videos. Oh, my thing went up. This one guy, he's a maggot, and he said it went from 250 to over 1,000.
Listen.
Really?
Listen, there were some farmers that were complaining about the tariffs and things like that. But at the end of the day, the love for Trump from MAGA still has been there. So yeah, there may be.
They're gonna love him when they're gonna end up analyzing. You know what I mean? They want small government, but that's the biggest government taking your crap away. Sending $1 billion to Kenya for, you know what's crazy? He took away our health care, took away mostly the Republican states' health care, and gave $1 billion to Kenya for their health care. Go figure. Took away food stamp money and gave it to, Honduras or some shit over there.
But one thing we can say that seems to be clear is that no matter what he does, even if it hurts some MAGA.
But I thought we was America first, though.
Like I said, no matter what he does, even if it hurts some MAGA, the love for Trump from MAGA remains.
I just wish that I wish that Satan would come alive and take him to the pits of hell.
Oh,
I'm hoping. I wish someone would come and kidnap his ass. We won't pay him to get back. Take him. Go, bye. Do whatever you want to him.
You know, don't wish harm on the president. Don't
shut the fuck up. He wishes harm on us every damn day.
I
don't give two fucks.
How does Trump wish harm on us? I see you in the comments. Handsome Evil Finger says yes. How does Trump doesn't wish harm on us as Americans?
Oh, dog, for real? Taking our health care away, taking working poor, their food stamps away, telling them, okay, they can only have $1. And I mean, he does everything hateful for us. And then goes into the other countries and gives them money and stuff. But we're supposed to be America first, right? Go fucking figure it out. Go figure. That ain't no America first. America first, you should have never. I don't care if you give people money. But don't take money from us. Don't take our resources and screw us, but give to the next people. That's not America first.
Any idea why the MAGA side of the aisle is not crying out that what Trump is doing is not America first? Because you're saying it's not.
They're in a cult, Tim. They're in a cult. They get effed every day without a condom, without lube. Yes, master. Yes, master.
That ain't no. They're not getting effed. They see it. Look, he's securing the border. They like that. He's getting.
Okay, I'm so sick of you saying he secured the damn border. His numbers are down. That does not mean that it's secure. Biden's numbers are higher than his numbers. Okay, Biden's border was more secure than his border because his numbers are very low and they're coming in. There's videos of people coming in.
Nobody.
And they're laughing at Trump.
Okay, Biden, his numbers are down because he secured the border so much. Ain't nobody coming in no more.
Tim, you know what? How dumb you are and how pathetic you are. Take your ugly, bow-headed ass into a real. Go to Johnny's live, okay? His name is Johnny. He's a white dude. He's a big-time Democrat, right? He will smoke the fuck out you. He'll put you in your place. Because you came, oh no, the border's secure, and he'll name the shit down to why it's not secure. Because it's really not secure. It's really not. All his numbers down for being so secure are down. Biden has over 20,000 more. He did a month.
You're trying to tell me.
Shut the fuck up about the border.
You're trying to.
And what?
You're trying to tell me while Trump is deporting everybody he can get his hands on, people are still trying to come to this country illegally. More so than
the border's not secure though. Name me one policy put on the border to make it secure. I'll wait. Because every time that Democrats tried to, Biden did twice. Why when he first came in, and then towards the end, he said, "Don't vote for it." That's all I have to run on. Now he has no bills to close to do anything with the border. Nothing.
I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy.
You know what I think? That get the shit out your get off your knees. You're not no liberal. You're not. Jim, you're not. You're an undercover maggot. You really are. You ain't nothing but a ninja. You know, a ninja. You know what I mean?
What is a ninja?
You're an uneducated one.
What is
you make black men look special. For real. You're supposed to be on the left. You're supposed to go get educated on the crap. Go get educated and tell me if it's more fucking secure. I am a woman. I even know this. I'm in between border. I live in California and New Mexico. I'm in both border states. When I tell you it's not secure, it's still the same. It's still the same.
Nobody believes you. It's as simple as that.
You know what? And when it happens to the next ministry, what are we going to say then? Huh?
I'm going to tell you.
Nothing's happened, Tim. Nothing has happened.
Stevie D wants to know, did you draft the hard ER to me? You call me a ninja.
No. I didn't call you the ER. I said ninja, the A.
Oh.
I don't ever say the ER. What the fuck? I said, you know what I meant to say.
Yeah, I know what you fucking meant to say.
Yeah.
What
you can't say that.
What you meant to say is President Trump has done the best job on securing our borders in this nation's history.
You are a ninja that on the floor for a white man thinking he's doing something. Now you can't name me one thing he's done for the border. Not one. All he's done is pure hate. All he has done was pure hate. Now he's going to take the oil from these people.
And I see Douglas says, dude, you can hear the toothlessness and she's insulting you. Hang up on this bitch.
Let me tell you about me being toothless, okay? Let me tell you something. If I was toothless, I could take a ninja soul, okay? Okay? I don't have gag reflex. I don't.
Ooh. So
if I had no teeth, I'd be the top of notch of giving some head, okay? Okay? But I have teeth, unfortunately. So, I could scrape still if I wanted to and make you hurt.
Ow.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, no teeth.
So, no, I have teeth. Because if I did it, I could take a ninja soul and I'd be like, he'd be sprung like T-Pain, washing my dishes for some kisses. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't have no gag reflex. So shut the fuck up. I would be the queen of getting BJ.
I'm going to leave it at that, gangster grandma.
I'm just saying. But don't know what, though, on Terrell shit, he just got us in a world of shit. Because now we're not safe. On Terrell shit, we're not safe. There's too many sleeper cells here. Russia's pissed off. China's pissed off. Iran is pissed off. And he thinks that, our military is big and bad. They're not going to stop everything.
Yeah.
And he's going to go out there. They're going to come after our soldiers and shit. All behind oil.
I got to move it on, but I do agree with that last part wholeheartedly, and I'll talk about it on the other side. Gangsta Grandma, thanks for coming through.
Have a good one.
You too. And moving on with the program, by the way, tap the screen, get the likes on up. get us up over 100,000. We can make that happen. We're currently on. If you enjoy this type of dialogue, open dialogue from all sides of the aisle, feel free to follow us if you're currently watching on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. If you're watching us live right now on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We're here most weekdays. I've been sick with the flu for the last few days. Wasn't going to come on today either, but obviously with us taking over Venezuela, it's like, what the fuck? So I had to come on and talk to the folks. But I agree with my last caller at that last part. Not obviously not the ninja part and the ugly bald head shit. That's gangsta grandma. But I agree with her that this could lead to us facing some kind of terrorist event. We are taking on too many countries at once. We are pissing off too many people simultaneously. This fuck the world approach could come back to bite us. And that is kind of that does seem to be the mindset of President Trump and to a lesser degree MAGA, because MAGA favors what Trump is doing. It's kind of like a fuck the world. We don't need anybody. We can do all this. It was supposed to, well, it started out with a nationalist approach. We're only going to, we're going to be America first. We're only going to worry about us. But yet we're involved in everybody's business. We kind of said we're not going to help out anybody anymore. That's what I was talking about before I brought my last caller on. Well, we're not going to send food and aid and assistance to anybody. We're only going to send missiles. We'll blow shit up. We won't feed you, but if you get out of line, we'll kill you. I guess I would have to ask also, if drug dealers are targets for execution, like with the boats and the vessels, why wasn't Maduro blown up? He's supposed to be a narco-terrorist. That's what they're saying, is this guy's responsible for pumping out drugs into America. Why didn't they just blow him up? Why did they put in all the resources and effort to bring him home alive, but all the boats at sea were killed? And some of this doesn't make sense, in my opinion. When can a hog-tie Trump? When is that going to happen? Because MAGA sucks right now and everything else. MAGA is winning. I'm going to tell you that. Regardless of how you may feel about MAGA, MAGA is constantly happy because of the victories of President Trump. MAGA feels like they're on top of the world right now. Mr. G says MAGA keeps moving the goalposts from new wars to oh well. Look, they're going to keep moving the goalposts because, look, wherever Trump is, that's where MAGA is. If Trump goes in the other direction, MAGA goes in that direction. It doesn't really matter what Trump promises. He can do the exact opposite, and MAGA is going to suddenly believe that the exact opposite is okay. For instance, we all was expecting when Trump got elected to get to the bottom of the Epstein files. Well, he is protecting people that's on the list. You weren't in favor of protecting people on the list. You wanted to get to the bottom of it. Now all of a sudden, because he's become resistant, a lot of MAGA is like, well, he didn't really campaign on telling you everything. They're going to move with him. So if Trump promises to do A and decides to instead do B, MAGA's going to move over to B with him. He doesn't really have to fulfill any of his promises. No matter what he does, he's doing the right thing. No new wars. So yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So it doesn't really matter where he's at on it. They're going to move with him. The healthcare premium hikes haven't hit yet. And even when they do, MAGA will keep their mouth shut or they won't directly blame Trump. I was telling that to my last caller. I believe that too. Just like with the farmers, when the tariffs started hurting the farmers, where they couldn't sell their soybean to China and things like that, and they were hurting financially, they still favored Trump over, anything on the liberal side. Then Trump came along and bailed out some of the farmers, and the love for MAGA continued. That's likely to happen with the healthcare subsidies. It'll hurt some people on the MAGA side, but I don't think it's going to stop the love for Trump. I think MAGA is going to ride with Trump no matter what. If any other president did 1% of what Trump did, Congress would be livid. Yeah, Trump would be livid. That's true, but that's why I say Trump is phenomenal. Trump is phenomenal. I wish I could come back as Trump. He literally is in a position where he could do anything, and a large portion of America will say it's okay. When we were, when weren't we in everybody's business? It's been this way for over 100 years. Well, Douglas, the problem is Trump campaigned on not doing that, though. You are correct. We've always been in everybody else's shit. But this guy campaigned on America first, no new wars, getting out of overseas conflicts. And when he got into the White House and started doing the same shit, it's, well, you know, everybody's always done that. That ain't what you ran on. You ran on ending that. The same thing with Drain the Swamp. He gets in office and all of a sudden swamp creatures are coming out of everywhere. He promised to drain the swamp. Now you're bringing them with you. So anyway, going back to the box and tap the screen, get us up over 100,000. We'll take the next caller at 100. Continue on. Magariax. That's what we call a liar. What do you mean by that, Dark Knight? Maga, good evening.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm battling a cold, but I'm here for you folks. Venezuela is ours for at least the interim. What say you?
I don't know if it's ours yet, but
you said we're going to run it.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. He says the VP is working with us. We'll see what actually happens. You know me. I'm always let's see how this turns out before I judge the situation.
How are you feeling about it so far?
Like I said, at first I didn't like it, and I still kind of don't like it, but then I turn on the TV and I see more Venezuelan in South Florida celebrating than Venezuelan in Venezuela protesting.
You know what this looks like to me? We love you, Donald Trump. That's what this looks like to me. A bunch of Hispanics celebrating some shit that they're going to later be crying out for. That's what it sounds to me. It looks just like that.
I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I don't know too much about Venezuelan politics, and I tried to call my old Venezuelan girlfriend, but she didn't pick up. I don't think she still has the same number.
You sure she still has the same address? ICE may have gotten a hold of her.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Here's what I don't get. Do they not have television in Venezuela? Can they not see what President Trump had ICE do to the Venezuelans in our country? You think after seeing all of that, he's going to come to your country and do good things for you?
Look, all that shit you might think is outrageous, but to a lot of people, it's just fair game. You come into a country illegally, it's fair game to get kicked out.
Deporting motherfuckers to Africa, alligator Alcatraz, making jokes about them getting eaten to death. You really think it's like that everywhere? A lot of
that is like media hype. That's not like real rhetoric. Like
how many other presidents or leaders of countries make jokes about people entering the country getting eaten by alligators? That ain't even rhetoric that other people use.
I don't know, man. But still, like a lot of this shit is just the media blowing it out of proportion. It's the same shit as the last administration, the last time Trump was president. You know, they blow up everything. They make everything sound serious. And then Biden takes over and you're like, oh, this is some actual serious shit.
Alligator Alcatraz. Alligator Alcatraz is blown out of proportion, huh? Alligator Alcatraz. I mean,
how many people got eaten by gators?
The fact that you would even create a name like that and make actual highway signs saying some shit like that. You blown out of proportion, huh?
Plus, gators don't really eat people. Maybe a crocodile, but I don't think gators actually eat anybody. I've been out there. I've been stuck in the mud out there, fucking knee deep in mud. I was worried more about the fucking bugs than the alligators.
Well, and by the way, alligators have been known to eat people, but I'm just simply saying that people are not blowing what he's saying out of proportion. He says some wild shit. Trump says wild, crazy shit. It's not hard to blow. Go ahead.
And we should have learned from his first administration not to take everything he says seriously. That a lot of it is just bullshit and entertainment. He's an entertainer by trade.
Who was entertained by making jokes about people being eaten by alligators? Who is that entertaining?
All the people tuning in to these press conferences every day. I mean, he's on TV every day.
You sure that's just not MAGA? I'm hearing from some of my earlier guests that MAGA likes to watch misery. You're MAGA, your name is MAGA React. Do you enjoy watching the misery of others, watching ICE tackle people to the ground, or hearing about people trying to swim into America and drowning in these devices they got in the river? Do you enjoy hearing about that stuff?
No, but guess what? You break the rules. We got to enforce the rules somehow. You know, these are all people breaking the rules. If they were following the rules and they were getting fucked up and killed, unalived or whatever, then I would be with you. I'd be protesting with you. Like, these people followed the rules and you're treating them unfair.
Well, it's not just, yeah, you're wrong about that. And thank you, Kabir, appreciate that. It's not just people who were broken the rules there, because they have the right to profile. They're fucking with anybody that's brown. You don't have to be an illegal immigrant. If they come up to you and ask you to, can you prove that you're in America? You have to answer them, or they will fuck with you. So you ain't doing nothing wrong. You just happen to be brown. They can mess with you now.
That's been the standard since the beginning.
No, it hasn't. No, you ain't have to.
Supposed to ID people who don't belong in a certain area.
No, you have
to
to.
ID them. We all have to carry ID by law, even like U.S. citizens.
Yeah, but you have to have probable cause. Being brown was never a probable cause to be stopped.
Okay, then that's on the cops. Then sue them for not having probable cause.
No, they got the right to do that now. They're being fucked with. That is something that started with the Trump administration. That now simply being brown can let the cops can fuck with you.
Yeah, his deportation numbers are still nothing to brag about. He's got average deportation numbers. This is just the standard shit that we've been dealing with for 100 years. But you guys are all, up at arms because it's Trump.
Well, the reason
none of this is new.
Huh?
None of it is new, Tim.
Well,
the fact that the camera's there watching it like a hawk is the only new part.
No, the camera. The reason a lot of this shit is making news is because President Trump brags about this stuff so much. A lot like the boats being blown up off the coast of Venezuela. There's no reason to show us that stuff. He wants you to see people dying. He opened himself up for scrutiny on that. He didn't have to televise all of that shit. He put Maduro being arrested. He didn't have to put this on his page. He's doing this stuff. That's why he's getting so much scrutiny, is because he is bragging and boasting nonstop.
I think he's just being transparent because he'd rather just the people judge instead of let the media get away with their narratives.
Yeah, he's being
If I didn't see those boats, I wouldn't be able to tell you that they're not fishing boats.
Yeah,
but because I saw the boats, I could tell you without a fucking piece of doubt, with zero doubt, that those are not fishing boats.
Yeah, he's being transparent until you want to see the second double tap strike, and then he ain't showing you shit. He's being transparent until you want to see the Epstein files, and then he ain't showing you shit. He ain't being transparent.
And then you say we always follow him, but we protested against him not releasing the Epstein files with you guys. I mean,
you ain't protesting
him for that just as much as you guys, probably even more.
I don't hear a lot of MAGA complaining about not getting the Epstein files. I still see MAGA. I got MAGA still on my last time. He the best president we've ever had, even though it looks like he's abused kids in his past. MAGA still like he the best president we've ever had.
We got a ton of files, and I still haven't seen any real proof that he abused anybody.
Why can't we see the double tap?
That I agree with you too, but because I don't know, we'll find out.
Because he ain't transparent. He's showing us what the fuck he want to show us, and he's hiding what he don't want to show you.
I guess, but I mean, what is the double tap going to tell you?
I thought he was transparent. If you're going to show us one of the missiles hitting the boat, why not show the other one?
100% transparent. You can't just give away all America's secrets.
So you're picking and choosing now. I mean, if you're going to show the people die, let us see them die.
Well, he didn't show us anyone dying. He just showed us him blowing up the boat. We didn't actually see anyone actually die.
You show us one missile hitting the boat. We find out later that part of the boat survived and some of the people on the boat survived, and you had to fire another missile. Why don't we get to see that? Why is that being hidden from us?
I don't know. Ask the people, the Congress people that saw it. Those
No.
people are supposed to represent you, and they saw it and asked them.
Why would I ask them when Trump is the only reason we ain't seeing it? Why not ask him?
Well, apparently something was classified about it, but your representative, the Congress people that you elected from your district, saw it, or at least the senator saw it. I don't know how many Congress
There is
people saw
nothing
it.
classified. When Trump shows us those boats being blown up, there's a sign above the picture that says declassified. So he could declassify that second strike and show it to us. You don't need to talk to Congress. Congress ain't declassifying those photos. He is. So why not
All right.
declassify the second strike?
I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know why. Hopefully we find out one day. I already said I don't know an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like to stick to these points I have no answer to. But I have no answer to.
Well, if you're gonna defend some shit, defend some shit. So I am going to
can't
speak to
defend
him.
everything, and I don't agree with everything he does. I mean, you act like I agree with everything he does, but every time I tell you I don't agree with something, you keep asking me to defend it. I told you already, I don't agree with it.
You tried to make it sound like this guy is being very transparent. That's why I pushed on
compared
it.
to anybody else, he's very transparent. I mean, that's relevant. He's definitely more transparent than anybody before him.
He is
I mean,
more
look at-
he is more talkative than anybody before him. He is not more transparent. He is more
He's
talkative.
definitely more transparent. We never got this much politics in our life before. He gives us politics every day. He gives us, fucking Obama would have never done that.
Yeah,
shit. He
but
would've
the
won
problem,
all the votes.
but the problem
And it
is he gives us more. You're saying than anybody. A lot of stuff that Trump says is not true, though. A lot of times when he gets before the camera, he's talking about the election, or he's talking about wars that would never have started under him, or how he could end wars. And he talks a lot. That's why I say he's more talkative.
A lot of it's true.
And a lot of it's not.
True. A lot of it's true.
And
It's
a
like
lot
what
of
you
it
were
is
saying
not.
earlier.
A lot of it is not. You want to give him credit for transparency. Give him credit for all the lies, too. A lot of stuff he is saying is not true.
I do give him credit for that. I agree with you that he lies all the time. He exaggerates all the time. That's for sure.
Why is that not a concern with MAGA, him being that dishonest like that?
Well, because it's not always being dishonest. It's always bragging. Bragging is not always being dishonest. There's a difference.
So if he
And
says,
we
right,
always see it as him trying to be dishonest. We see him as him trying to be positive, or I don't know.
so if he
Just
says
don't see it as dishonest.
he
It's not always
recently
dishonest.
he recently said the economy is the best it's ever been in America. What is that to you?
I mean, we just got the best quarter GDP in a couple of years.
Best
so
economy. What does that mean to you?
we got the highest stock market ever.
Best
So,
economy.
in some ways,
Best economy. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. It means everybody's making money, and I know we're not there yet. So that's something also I don't agree with him. But I think we're gonna get there this year.
Is that a lie, though?
No, it's some motivational speech. What do you want him? I've had this argument with you 100 times. Like, we want him to say that economy sucks. That you should,
What is a
you should
motivational
just quit your job
speech?
and kill yourself because the economy sucks and it's gonna get worse. I mean, what do you want from him?
What do you mean by a motivational speech? So if he says
Like, you
something,
gotta be positive. Nobody wants a negative leader that's gonna tell you we're gonna lose. What coach goes to his team that we're gonna lose? Don't worry, we're gonna lose.
This
Let's
kinda-
just go out there and lose.
this like from his first term when he said COVID is going to be gone by April. You think that was just motivational or something?
Yeah, he was trying to be positive. He doesn't want people to panic. Would you want your people to panic?
So what happens when you? So we got a
You want to
pandemic
deal
going.
with panic on top of a fucking pandemic.
But think about it. You got a pandemic going on where people are dying. You want to be positive. You tell people it's going to go away by April, and May comes around and it's still there. You think that panic may not start to happen when they realize that you're lying?
But that's not what he said, though. Like, he was telling us hopefully it goes away by April. He never said for a fact it's going to be gone by April. He says it should be gone by April.
Based on
I mean, it's not like we thought what he was saying was 100% true. We knew he's just being positive. And if you are sitting there pretending like, oh, no, he was being 100% serious and 100% like what's the word I'm looking for? Like factual? He's not trying to be factual. He's just trying to be positive and trying to send a message to people not to panic and to live their lives.
So in other words, you can't really trust what he's saying because he might just be trying to be positive. What he said, what he is telling you may have no relevance to reality at all. It just might be him trying to be positive.
Look, you have to find a balance, and I think he finds a good balance between telling the truth and trying to be positive and exaggerating and trying to motivate. You don't like the balance, or you just take him seriously because you want to use it against him. Like, you take him like word for word. What he says has to be done exactly the way he says, otherwise he's lying. If he says it's going to rain tomorrow and it rains in 2 days, he's a fucking liar.
No, if you say it's going to be gone by April and we find out it was based on no actual evidence, no medical professional or anybody gave you a reason to say that, yeah, he's a fucking liar. Yes.
He didn't say there was medical evidence that it was going to be gone.
Then
by
why
April.
speak on it?
Because it's his job to be our leader and motivate us and stop us from panicking.
That
It's
is
his job to speak on it.
No.
He's our fucking leader.
speaking on something for which it has no basis in reality whatsoever. That is not going to
I
stop.
can't believe you're wasting my time on this. We've had this argument 100 times. We should be talking about a bunch of other things, and you're wasting time on this.
I'm just-
because we've had this
Okay, well,
conversation before.
before
You're
we
not
can,
saying anything new.
well, because I'm amazed that you're still here, but hang on. Well, Mr. G says Trump didn't want to drain the swamp. He wanted to be the swamp. He wanted to be the elite of the elite. Any favor someone wanted has to go through him. I agree with that. MAGA, what say you?
I also agree with that, but he also tries to make sure his favors also benefit America.
How? How are we benefiting from shit
by
like
getting
that?
more money to America, by getting more oil to America to lower our oil prices, to
How?
help the Venezuelans in America. By the way, Venezuela is in our backyard. I can fly to Venezuela. It's the same as a flight to Venezuela for me. I think it's about the same as DC or New York. It will take me longer to get to Seattle from Miami than it would be to get to Venezuela. So
I don't-
tell me. I mean, Vegas is like a 5-hour flight. Venezuela, I think, is like 3 or 4. It's only 1,000 miles away. Vegas is way further than that. From
I
Miami.
don't like this in our backyard argument because it makes it sound like we're trying to control the Western Hemisphere. All of
But
the
it's not just that. If Venezuela is unstable, their refugees are going to end up in America. They're going to walk from Venezuela up. You know, we've already experienced
that
this.
ain't
Every
that
time-
ain't gonna happen. Not under Trump. That ain't gonna happen no more. And
Yeah,
by
but Trump's not always going to be there.
no, huh?
Trump's not always going to be there. And also, when Venezuela was doing good, they were here in South Florida spending money. I remember 10, 15 years ago when all the Venezuelans came here with their money. It was good times.
That ain't
I
gonna
saw
happen.
them
No,
real
that
estate
ain't
back
probably gonna happen no more either. I think America is not. You know, we always brag that America is a place that everybody wants to come to. I don't think that's going to apply for a while. I don't think. I mean, I'm talking about even the folks that are from first world countries that have money to come here on a visitor's visa. That ain't going to apply anymore. I don't think we're going to be the country that everybody wants to come to for a while. I think we've kind of lost
I'm
that.
glad you guys have been wrong about so much, and I'm hoping you continue to be wrong because the economy still hasn't collapsed. And despite all the criticism I personally have for this economy and for Trump, it's still better than it was under Biden. You know, we had 9% inflation under Biden. This inflation barely touched 3%. And under Biden, everything was going wrong. And we haven't started a new war. Despite me not liking this, it's still not a new war.
Well,
They keep saying no new wars. We're not at war.
the only reason we're not at war is because Trump is handpicking the countries he's fucking with. He's committing acts of war over and over again. It's just he's doing it to these little peon countries that can't fight back. You want to tell me what happened in Venezuela last night was not an act of war?
Look, Ukraine was a little peon country compared to Russia, but guess what? They still stood up. And
it's because wait a minute, no.
Anybody.
No, the Ukraine had the help of the United States. If Russia or some other
Venezuela has the help of China and fucking
No.
Russia.
China China has not provided the Venezuelans with surveillance and weapons like we did to Ukraine. If China was providing Venezuela with all of that shit, Maduro would still be in power. It's as simple as that.
We only provided them with all that shit because they held their ground on day one. And then again, you know, Bush invaded Iraq, fucking Putin invaded Ukraine. We just did a single strike and left. You know, the same government is still in charge.
Well,
nothing has happened, really.
Well, what I'm saying is the only reason that we haven't went to war is Trump is handpicking the countries he's fucking with. What we did to Iran was an act of war. What we did to Yemen was an act of war. I mean, they just can't fight back. That's the only difference. They can't fight back.
These are the countries causing us problems. They've been causing us problems for 20 years.
Yemen wasn't fucking with us. They were trying to go against Israel for what they were doing to Hamas. We jumped in that shit.
Plus, we didn't attack Yemen. We attacked terrorists in Yemen. Again, you're like convoluting attacking like a certain person in Yemen.
Yemen with the Houthis was launching rockets.
Yeah, the Houthis, not the Yemen government.
You're not hearing me out. You're not hearing me out. Yemen was launching rockets towards Israel, and America was shooting them down. America was interjecting itself in that conflict. We didn't have any business in that.
All right. But again, he also promised to have peace through strength. That means to be strong, show the world that we're strong and we're not to be fucked with. And that's how you get peace, because people are not going to fuck with us, because guess what? Like, you guys been calling his bluffs, but now nobody's going to say he's bluffing again, because you never know when he's bluffing and when he's actually going to act.
You really believe that nobody's going to call his bluff? I mean,
after this, would you call his bluff?
I want you to hear this.
Will Russia face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
there will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences, yes.
How were your calls this morning with European leaders?
Now, obviously, Russia did not adhere to what he was requesting, and there hasn't been any severe consequences to Russia. So what are you talking about?
You could have said the same thing about Venezuela up until today. You could have said the same exact thing.
But he's made multiple threats on Russia, and they're not adhering to any of that shit.
But we're still at the table negotiating. There's a huge difference. We're actually still at the table trying to negotiate a peace with these people. And you're right. I mean, you're not wrong. Russia is different from Venezuela, but you know, he's still at the table negotiating, and we're still trying to figure it out. And guess what? By doing this, we've kind of weakened Russia, because now they got one less person to trade oil with, I guess. Actually, I guess they don't sell oil to Russia.
You're right. Russia is different from Venezuela because Russia can fight back. That's why we're not fucking with Russia. These other countries, as I said, we haven't gotten into war under Trump because he is handpicking the people he fuck with. Russia didn't listen to him, and he didn't go any further with that because Russia can fight back. He's handpicking the countries he fucks with.
What would we do to Russia? What do you want to do to Russia? Like, there's not a path of action to take.
Go take out Putin.
You think we could go into Russia like we went into Venezuela?
I thought we were taking out dictators. Putin's a dictator. Go take him out. Go arrest him and bring him back to New York.
I mean, like I said, you're correct in that we're picking on people that really can't fuck.
Yeah, we're playing the world. We're playing world's police, the bully format. So we'll be the world's police, but we're only going to do it to really low peon nations. We'll do it from a bully standpoint. Like even Kim Jong-un, he was firing rockets over Japan. Trump didn't go take him out. He's a dictator. He went over there and tried to make friends with him.
Yeah, because it worked, and he hasn't.
It didn't work. It didn't work. He has done shit since then. He started doing it 6 months after Trump left.
He has not been on the news. He hasn't bothered anyone in the last couple of years.
He ain't been on the.
I forgot about North Korea.
He ain't been on the.
He talked about North Korea.
He ain't been on the news because Trump does so much other shit. It's hard for the news to keep up. MAGA, I gotta move it on.
Yeah, you know who's benefiting the most out of this is Tim Walz in Minnesota. He must be enjoying his day now. It's not about him anymore.
It's gonna be about Nick Shirley soon because Nick Shirley got probably get sued. I gotta go.
He's not gonna get sued because you have to have a deposition and they have to prove they didn't like. If they sue him, then he gets to look at all their shit and prove that they committed fraud. So they have to be perfect to sue him.
Bro, the fact that the fact of him saying that the business wasn't open and trying to indicate that they were. Yeah, Nick Shirley's going to get sued.
Now you got to prove to me that you're open. Show me all the kids that you're taking care of.
The show, you don't have to show shit like that. He showed up before business hours. There was a sign clearly on the door telling him we're not open yet, and he made sure not to show that sign on his video. And he's pulling on the door talking about this place is closed.
I know, but I'm pretty sure they still have to insert the positions, and that position, the first thing I'm going to ask for is their attendance record. And when they show they only had 10 kids when they're billing for 80, then the lawsuit's over.
Yeah, no, it's not over. Even if they committed fraud, that don't mean he can. That don't mean.
Find it weird that the daycare is in the back of a restaurant and it's a 40 or 80 people daycare, but it looks like it barely holds 10.
There are things that may be worthy of questioning, but the way Nick Shirley did that video, there's room to sue him. I got to move it on.
I don't think so. Not a million years.
We'll see in a lot less than a million. Tap the screen. Get the likes on up to 120. Ask him about Brett Favre still in 70. They don't give a shit about that. I'll tell you this. Trump has pardoned so many fraudsters. So many of them. The Binance founder. I mean, and all of a sudden, when it comes to the Somalis, they're suddenly really concerned over fraud. Look, if anybody in Minnesota that's guilty of fraud should face the justice system. I'm 100% behind that. But if you're going to be concerned about fraud, be concerned about fraud. If you're turning a blind eye to Trump continuing to pardon white-collar criminals, you don't give a damn about fraud. You just don't like these Somali people. That's what I believe it is. Looking in the comments here, I think a crocodile and an alligator needs to eat MAGA reacts with all the crazy crap he's talking about. Can somebody feed him? Oh my God. You're bringing up the phlegm from the flu, but he wants a crocodile or an alligator to eat my last guess. Damn, evil fingers. Me Too says MAGA reacts goes with their feelings before anything else. Feel better, Tim. Appreciate that, Me Too. Thank you. Yeah, it's rough. Like I said, I came down with the flu, influenza, where they told me I had to go to the ER and everything. So on New Year's Eve, started feeling ill, and I went to, I had to lead a gathering before the strike of New Year's. I was in bed on New Year's, and just New Year's Day, I felt terrible. 104 temperature and all of that. I went to the ER, and yeah, I got the flu. And I have the flu vaccine, so it didn't work for me. Anything someone wants to tactically acquire or make disappear has to go through Trump, the ultimate swamp activity. And that is what he's doing. He ain't just like that overseas, though. He's like that in America. Any deal that he has to approve, he wants a cut. I think the Washington Commanders were trying to get a new stadium in D.C., and he was saying that he wanted them to name it after him or something. Or no, he wanted them to rename the team the Washington Redskins. Anything that he has to sign on or approve, he wants a cut of it. I think like the Paramount deal, he's trying to change, like with Stephen Colbert and stuff like that, trying to change their programming. Yeah, he is definitely, he's overstepping that kind of stuff. Now, I don't, here's the problem with this. Now, I know Trump on the way out, people believe he can give himself a pardon. Hell, I believe it. But it wouldn't surprise me if Trump leaves the White House and states come after him, because you can't pardon yourself from state charges. My guess is he's probably committed some state crimes. Some of this stuff he's probably done is probably state crimes. So we'll see. But there are going to be people trying to prosecute Trump for the rest of his life. Not for certain they're ever going to succeed, but people are going to be coming after him for the rest of his life. And that's going to spread to his kids and how they got money. And of course, all of his associates are going to be dealing with it. I going to Venezuela. I get there. Okay, I don't understand let me read this closer. T2 says, Love, I going to Venezuela. I get their hot woman, marry her and get her oil money. You should join me on the adventure. Venezuela freed by President Trump. They dancing on the streets. God, T2. Let me just say it like this. There are going to be people in any country that does not like the leadership. And if somebody ousts that leadership, people in that country are going to be happy. If you took out Putin, there would be Russians in the street dancing. If you took out Trump or Biden, there would be Americans in this country celebrating. You had Americans in this country that were saying that Russia was a better leader than Biden. There were people in this country during Biden's term that were saying they would rather be led by Russia, led by Vladimir Putin, than led by Biden. So if somebody came in this country and took out Trump, you would be able to find videos of people in the street celebrating that as well. That don't mean that's the mindset of the whole damn country, though. To find some Venezuelans celebrate, that don't mean the whole country feels that way. You can always find a few people on any side of an issue. Can somebody put a piggy on this man's face and say, "Piggy, hush, piggy, hush," says Evil Fingers. I don't know what that means, but real quick before we go to the next guy. This guy said, if the economy isn't good after a year, Trump failed, now what? Yeah, I didn't get a chance to ask him that, Dennis. That is a good one. I wish I had saw that. But Trump promised to get the economy back on track on day one. That didn't happen, obviously. Let me go back to the box. That absolutely did not happen, but he said he's going to do it on day one. We'll go to Fuzzer. Good evening, Fuzzer. Welcome to the program. Fuzzer, good evening.
Hey, so I heard I fell asleep on you the other night.
It's happened before.
Someone asked you, hey, challenge, wake him up with his Alexa. That's a joke because someone did that. I was hosting a live. I fell asleep on my own live.
How the hell could you do that?
On camera. So imagine you right now falling asleep. It was 3:30 in the morning. And then your guests get your Alexa to play Baby Shark at level 10 with your wife upstairs.
Okay, well, I have one in the background, so don't say that too loud. How could you fall asleep on your own live, though?
Alexa, stop.
Yeah. How could you fall asleep on your own live, though?
It was 3:30 in the morning. 3:30 in the morning.
I suppose. I can't imagine on my own live, though. Well, see, that's because a lot of you guys run live, so you got a whole bunch of people on there, and they kind of are talking amongst themselves and things like. I'm too involved to fall asleep. It's just me. So if I fall asleep, the program goes silent. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But I actually wanted to come up while Rudy was up here. I love talking with Rudy. He's a good guy. But first, let's start off with Granny. She dropped the ER. I don't give a fuck what you said. I referenced you to a Uncle T. She dropped the ER.
So you're saying Gangsta Grandma called me the hard ER?
Exactly, 100%.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the clip. All of my lives are archived on YouTube. So anybody want to?
That's how I know that I fell asleep because the recording came to me. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Yeah. So the recording comes to me now.
Oh my God!
I got to hear me snoring.
Oh my! Really? Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you definitely were. But I've had that happen. Listen, I got a lot of people on hold. Sometimes, unfortunately, by the time I get to somebody, they're knocked out. It's happened before, but the hard ER, I got to listen to that. I guess because she said she didn't do it.
That's not what she meant to do, but she did.
Okay, well,
she 100% did.
So we control Venezuela now. What's your thoughts?
All right. We are Russia, and they're Ukraine. That's all there is to it.
Wow.
We are Russia, and they're Ukraine. We're taking them over. It was supposed to be the FUG, right? We found out there's no FUG there because we know it's created in China, assembled in Mexico, and comes on the backs of United States people or citizens to the U.S. So that's the transportation of it. So there are no UGs coming from Venezuela specifically.
You raise a good point. Now that we're in control of that country, yeah, Trump should be showing you fentanyl factories or something like that that's being taken out. I mean, like, okay, you got control of the country now. You said this drug was coming from this country. Show us the drug. Show us you taking out places that it's being made, or show us something to validate your claims that it was coming out of this country. I don't think it's going to matter. I think we're going to focus on the oil and put in somebody else and leave.
Well, then they changed it to cocaine, right?
Yeah.
And they said the booger sugar is coming from there. Well, there's been no evidence of that. It comes from Colombia. None of that. They did find some on the remains of one of the boats. What was it? Mary Jane.
Wow.
Well, Mary Jane's legal in 40 of our states. So What the fuck are we doing this? By the way, those boats, MAGA, what's his face there, said, I wouldn't have believed they were fishing boats by the way they look. Yeah, but can you believe they can travel 1,500 miles to our shores?
He believes they can. He believes if you put enough fuel on them. Yeah, we've talked about that many times. He believes they can reach this country. He's in the comments now saying, yeah, he believes those.
You put enough fuel on them, they're going to sink themselves. You know how much fuel weighs? What the fuck is? I would MAGA. If I'm gonna host a live. I would love to host it just with you talking to me, because you got so much fucking wrong with your life, dude. You got so much wrong, man. So, by the way, what we did discover were all those, I can't remember the place, their destination was an island, and then from there going to Europe. So they're not even coming close to us. Every single charge that has been brought up on Maduro, he is not a threat to the United States directly whatsoever.
Yeah. And here's my take on it. When you watch those boats on video being blown up, if they carried enough fuel to make a 1,000, 1,500 mile journey, it would be a hell of a secondary explosion. You would be able to tell that boat had a lot of gas on it, and you don't see that.
Gas burns on water,
right? The double tap strike, for instance, wouldn't have been necessary. The Deuce would have been on fire. So
exactly. and then our there were I guess a few people on. So there were the other day the 3 boats that they hit at the same time. Mm-hmm. The first boat demolished everyone unalived. The second boats, or the second 2 boats, apparently people got away. We sent our Coast Guard to go find them. I don't know what the result of that was. I've been trying to keep on top of these because it drives me crazy. But we sent our Coast Guard to go find them. But like you said, the gasoline would have been everywhere.
Yeah.
On 2 boats or diesel, whatever they're even running on, would have been everywhere. The whole water would have been on fire, and they all would have been dead.
Right. I mean, it's just like when a plane is first leaving the airport. It's full of, when those things go, when they crash, get this huge fireball. I mean, you would have known that would have looked like an unusually large explosion. In fact, yeah, if you got 2 people that are clinging onto the wreckage and they survived, it ain't a whole lot of gas on that boat to do that. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
9/11 wasn't the planes. The planes crashing into it wasn't the problem.
It was the fuel. Yeah, it was the fuel.
Same idea. So that's where it all comes from. Dude, this is what you do to me all the time. I had so many freaking things I wanted to bring up to freaking
we got some time. We got some time.
I can't, hold on. I got a couple written down. Hold on. Oh, yeah, you said a lot of crazy ass shit about the border. Believe it or not, Granny was right on what she's saying. So you got to understand, Donald Trump with his deportations, Biden and Biden, by the way, has done many more. She's right at 20,000 more a month. That's what Biden of deportations. Now, Donald Trump, what he has done to do his deportations, whether so much crueler, is he has moved. The law used to be 100 miles in 2 weeks. So you could only, and this is what Obama, I believe Clinton as well, and Biden went through. No, I think Obama changed it. So you had to be within 100 miles and 2 weeks, and you could deport instantly, without questions asked. No questions asked.
What do you mean? What do you mean? 100 miles of what?
Of the border. So if you came across the border
Okay.
without documentation, whatever. So if you were found within 100 miles and within 2 weeks of doing so, you could be deported instantly without due process. Donald Trump has eliminated that, so he's expanded it. He even, before getting it done, called, is it Lake Michigan that borders Chicago? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lake Michigan, right?
Yeah.
He called Lake Michigan the border of Chicago. That way, he could go 100 miles in, which includes Chicago.
All of it. Yeah.
And that's why he called that the border, and then he was able to go into Chicago.
That's the border with what?
Alexa, stop! I didn't even say your name.
You sound like you got it. She sound like she lovey-dovey with you. That's listen. I think
my Alexa is all AI right now.
I think that what makes Trump look much better on securing the border than Biden is because he's doing it. Whereas, like with Obama, they're doing the deportations at the border. Trump is doing deportations all over the country. He's rounding people up from everywhere.
That's illegally.
Well,
The way he's doing it. I mean, he's meeting them at the court dates. He's changing rules. Yeah. He's giving. He's taken away green cards right now. He's if you're Islamic right now, good luck.
Yeah. If you're coming from a Muslim country, because people always say, we're okay with immigrants, just come here legally. If you're coming from a Muslim country, there is no legal way to get here. They're not going to let you come over here. You're just not going to be allowed to come.
Well, and all the law says 8 U.S. Code 1158. If you want to look it up, anyone in the chat wants to look at 8 U.S. Code 1158 says you can come here. You have a year to claim it, asylum, and you don't have to go through a port of entry any way necessary. The one rule is that you have to be on U.S. soil to do so, and that when approached, you don't run. If you run, you have to then claim asylum at that point. That's it. So all these people that are being picked up, show me that it's within a year. It's and to do the immediate deportation, 100 miles, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Trump's approach has been, if you can deport, do deport. I don't care what I don't care if you got a green card, you got a misdemeanor from 20 years ago for shoplifting or something. If no matter what it is, if there is something that gives you a legitimate petty, it is. So, I mean, that's why he's getting numbers and getting attention like that, because he's deporting people that nobody feels is a threat, nobody feels is a bad hombre, any of that stuff. I mean, he's going after everybody he can get.
He deported a South Korean that was a vet, a South Korean vet, and that was brought up in Congress via Zoom.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now.
I don't know something. Here's what I don't get. How is it that you can serve in the U.S. military without even having a right to stay in the country? Why would you train somebody in the tactics of the U.S. military and then send them, kick them out of the country where they could be, obviously going to be disgruntled because they got deported, and they could share everything they've. Why would you do if you serve in the military and you're discharged honorably? That alone should guarantee you get the right to stay.
Yeah, 100%. I don't understand that. Yeah, I can stop by in
that doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, like, once you've done a full tour in the military and you've had an honorable discharge, from that point on, if you commit a crime, you should be treated just like an American. You go through the justice system. If it comes with prison time, whatever the case may be, but you don't kick out veterans with the knowledge of stuff they have. That makes no sense to me. You're creating what could be a potential enemy doing that.
Well, and that kind of goes along with what. So he said today. This was so he declared that Washington. Why he even went back to the security here on his talk today, I have no idea. But he just declared DC as crime-free, and then he also said that there were no terrorists in our country. But then he referred to the unaliving of 2 military troops. Terrorist act. Wait a second. I thought there was no crime, no murder, and no terrorism, except that happened all in D.C.
Didn't say it had to make sense.
Jesus Christ. And the thing is, MAGA, I have a brother, dead MAGA. And he's just like, oh, yeah, no, there's no more crime in D.C. Bullshit. 2 National Guards people were shot and 1 was unalived. Don't tell me there's no more crime by a terrorist, according to Donald Trump. I mean, I don't know.
Man, listen, the guy likes to take credit for his wins, and he doesn't believe in owning up to his losses. I mean, you're always.
Well, you keep saying he's winning. That was the other thing I had trouble with.
He is winning. He is winning. Trump is kicking ass.
The only reason why he's not in jail right now is because he's the president. Why is he the president? Because he has the backing of the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation got him in there. I am not convinced that there wasn't something going on with that election. If you go look at New York, there's all kinds of things, but I'm not going to bring that up now because I don't want to get things banned. But the only reason why he's in the position he is right now is the Heritage Foundation. They are completely using him and his position in this country.
I don't disagree with that, but listen, you got a team. You've put together a team in place, or they're using you. Either he's using them or they're using them, whatever the way you want to look. But he's winning with them. I mean, he is a winner. You can give me reasons for why he's winning.
The Heritage Foundation is a winner.
And
I don't know. I mean, yeah, there is something to him being able to stay out of prison.
He's free. He's free. He's rich. He's powerful. He's in control. What other?
He's making more money right now than he ever has in his life.
Right, because he's winning.
How fucked up is that?
He's winning.
All right. I mean,
I'm not going to deny he's probably the most corrupt president we've ever had. I mean, in terms of how much money he's making off of the presidential seal, yeah. But MAGA likes that. They like their guy winning.
I'll tell you what, Jack Smith isn't done.
You think so? You think Jack Smith?
I guarantee when he gets out, if it's not Jack Smith, there's going to be something he forgot to pardon himself for. He overlooked. There's going to be some way Jack Smith has put this into a state case where he cannot pardon himself. Jack Smith is not done. That dude is fucking.
I think that first of all, when Trump is done, he's going to be 83. So, I mean, assuming he lives, assuming he's mentally competent and all of that stuff's got to be taken in consideration. But Jack Smith, along with Mueller and many of them, they move so slow. If you're going to do something, like, you need somebody that's more aggressive. Jack Smith.
I think that was Garland, though. I think that was Garland's fault, not Jack Smith's fault.
Yeah, could be.
But
they crossed way too many T's and dotted way too many I's, and they let the target escape. So here we are.
I mean, it's an ex-president, dude. I mean, what are you going to do? And half of it didn't start. I mean, the whole documents case didn't start until after his presidency. So you can't start.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't doing anything really illegal until after his presidency.
They tried to treat him as an ex-president with dignity, not realizing he's going to treat you like shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they gave him all kinds of opportunity to turn those files over, and he claimed he did.
I don't get what was the purpose of that? Why would he not want to turn those files over? There was nothing. I mean, there was nothing in it to condemn him or anything. He just wanted to hold on to him for the sake of holding on to him.
No, well, there's some of that. Don't tell me he had all the files. He gave some of them up. His wife being buried on the course where they had a Saudi Arabian golf the next week. I mean, don't tell me they didn't get some files out of that coffin. But
so, what do you think Trump was doing? Trying to sell the files or give them to?
He 100% did. He owed Russia $4 billion going into his 2020 election. That $4 billion disappeared.
So you believe President Trump? That's an executable offense. You believe President Trump has given secrets, nuclear secrets, whatever you want to go with, but you believe he's given military secrets to Russia?
We know 100% that he discussed our nuclear subs with those billionaires in Australia. We know this. They knew everything about our nuclear subs and their capabilities. They would not have been able to know it without Donald Trump discussing it with them. So we know this. And yeah, that $4 billion debt disappeared.
Isn't that, I mean, wouldn't that be an executable offense?
Yeah, and so wouldn't an insurrection on January 6th?
Well,
You said he's winning. Right now he's winning.
he is winning.
Shit, his life isn't over.
I mean, shit, he's almost 80 years old, and I mean his health is not the best. I mean, it's close. I mean, I think he's going to
Well, the other day me and you were talking, and I told you I didn't think he was going to survive these 3 years. I don't think he will. His health is not good.
I got so many people online saying that this guy ain't gonna survive. I mean, you got some folks, medical community people online saying the dude only has like 2 to 4 months. I don't see that. I saw him today address what happened in Venezuela. The dude is able to talk just as good as Biden was.
Rambled. No, he rambled. He didn't talk. He rambled. The 90% of what he said was just, I'm impressed with my military. We did a great strike, okay? We went at the dark of night. And 90% of what he said did not align up with what Rubio was saying.
I don't know. I didn't see it like that. I mean, he definitely wanders off because he went into lowering crime and stuff, which has nothing to do with what took place.
He went into DC. He went into everything. But literally, Rubio said they went in there to make an arrest. He said they went into there for the oil. He couldn't even remember. He was not supposed to talk about the oil. Don't talk about the oil was probably the one thing they said to him.
I don't think that was even worthy of trying to. Everybody knew that this was about oil. That was being said before we even went in there. Everybody knew that the only reason we was fucking with Venezuela is because they have large oil reserves. If Maduro was a dictator that was illegitimately appointed to a country that did not have oil reserves, we wouldn't be there, even if it was in our backyard, because the folks in Cuba are dictators. We're not over there. I mean, Haiti has a mess going on. We're not there. The only reason we went there is because they got all of this bullshit about well, he's a dictator and he was illegitimately elected. We don't give a shit about that. There are illegitimately elected dictators all over the place. We went there because they had oil. It's as simple as that. So he could get up there and not say anything about oil, but it's kind of like the biggest open secret there is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they tried to bury it with all the odds and blowing up these boats. Literally, there 2, 3, 5 people on a fishing or a speedboat. Okay, it's Miami fucking Vice. Really? You've got Don Johnson and Tubbs out on a fucking boat.
That's the best cop. That's the best cop series of all time. I might add. I still watch that. I still watch that when I can.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but man, Tubbs and Crockett, dude, you couldn't beat it.
The music, the clothes, everything.
Black man, white man show of all time.
Yeah.
Name another one.
I can't think of anything that's up there with Miami Vice. But Fuzzard, I got to move it on.
Yeah, all right. It's always a class talking to you, bud.
Always.
Right, I'll talk to you later.
Always a
pleasure.
pleasure.
Follow. I hope you feel better.
Yeah, I'm open that too. Thank you. All right, moving on with the program. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 125, if I can ask. Looking in the comments here, what do you think about the DSA? What does those acronyms stand for? Diamond Bulldog. The DSA. I'm drawing a blank. In the comments, this man literally knows nothing at all, says Flav Cobain. Nothing at all about what? Venezuelan citizens are on the news in Florida. They are thrilled and dancing for the Maduro arrest. Like I keep saying, you can find people on both sides of any issue. There were blacks that fought on behalf of the Confederates during the Civil War. That don't mean that's the mindset of all of them. You can always find somebody that is celebrating something. But the idea that the Venezuelan citizens are happy that America's taken over, do they not see what the same president that's taken over their country is doing to the Venezuelans that are in our country. They're being rounded up, grabbed by ICE and shit like that. I mean, do they not see that? What would make you think that he's going to come to your country and treat you any better than he's not even hospitable to Venezuelans that come to his country. So you think he's going to come down here and treat you right? You sure it ain't got nothing to do with that oil you guys got? So yeah, you can find people that are going to jump up and down and celebrate Trump getting rid of Maduro. I tell you, I'll leave it to you. I'll let you have it like this. Go find those people in 6 months to a year. I guarantee most of them are going to have negative stories. They're not going to be as happy anymore. When they find out what the real intention was, the real purpose of why we went into that country, they're celebrating now, but wait till they find out why we're really there and all. Yeah, they're not going to be when they find out we came there, took billions of dollars of oil and just left and did nothing to help that country out. We're not going to help out their economy or do anything for their country. We're going to come and take what we need because Trump believes that they owe us oil profits. He believes that they ripped off some American oil companies. Trump is going to come there and claim that, plus or minus a few extra dollars in interest for his own personal coffers, probably, and then he's going to leave. You can go ahead and put somebody in power now, and that's it. He's not there to help that country out in any way, fashion, or form. If another dictator follows up behind Maduro, so be it. He's not there to help them out. So yeah, they celebrating because they don't know the rest of it. I wonder if he wanted Maduro to question on how he pulled it off for pointers. Don't know. Because they know they broke the law to get here while they were doing it the right way. That's why they're okay with it. They know. I don't know why you guys are still saying this late in the Trump administration that come here the right way is some kind of access to glory. There are, under the Trump administration, coming here the right way has been closed off for a lot of people. Claiming asylum, temporary protected status, all of that stuff was the right way. All of that stuff is gone. Trump, in his effort to have a Muslim ban, Muslims used to have a right way to come here. So you guys keep saying come here the right way. You know, Trump is making it so that for some people, there is no right way to get here. There is no right way. So all of this come here the right way. I see what Straight Talk Commerce is saying. Then don't come. Just come out and say that. At least you're being honest. Come on, just honestly say, we don't want you here. We are closing off all avenues for you to come here. Do not come here. That would be a more honest answer, but then that kind of exposes the racist stuff about the administration. So we can't say that. We got to still keep using this. You can come, but come legally, knowing that behind the scenes we're removing all avenues to come here legally. But no, the honest response would be, don't come here. We're not going to let you in. That would be the honest way of being it, but they're not going to say that. Anyway, looking in the comments before we move on, not all, but they need help to get the ridden workers and trash ones because the guy sends jail criminals. The wording of that, I don't know. Kamala said, don't come. Yes, she did say it. She did say it. Let me go ahead and continue on, though. And we'll go to Mr. Greenland. Greenland, if it brings him up, I'd be curious to talk to him. I don't think he's going to do it. Let me go ahead and move on. Okay, Mr. Greenland, good evening.
Hi.
Hey, have you heard the news? Now, you're in Greenland. Have you heard the news of what happened?
About Venezuela?
Yes.
Yes, I followed, yes.
And you know our president is talking about taking your country again.
Yes.
Has it caused any changes in your country now that first we kind of thought he might have been joking or just talking, but he is making it clear that he wants your country.
Yeah, we know he wants it. But the fact doesn't change. We are part of NATO.
Do you believe that matters with Trump? I mean, a lot of the rules with Trump can be bent or broken.
Yeah, NATO will defend us.
You feel
If America attacks, that means pork in NATO.
you feel confident that if Trump tries to take your country, NATO would step up against the United States?
Yeah, all for one for all.
Well, all for one and one for all. But what if one part of the group is attacking part of the group? Whose side do you side with? We're all friends, and if two friends start attacking each other,
50% of America will help us.
how? How can Americans help protect Greenland?
Not all Americans want a dictatorship. Like, I've been trying to tell you, you are a frog in a boiling water.
Explain. I know the description, but I want you to explain that for folks who I know what you're saying, but explain that.
Yeah, you're as a people in America, you are like a frog in slowly heating water, which is now about to start to boil.
And the people are just not smart enough to get out of the water.
Yeah.
So what is the end result? We all die of scalding water?
That means you lose your country.
You think America is on the cusp of no longer being a superpower?
No, yeah, it's a definite way to lose your country and your position in the world. America is going to be this stop being the number one country in the world soon if you do not do anything.
So if America is about to drop that much, and we are the number one power in NATO, how are you guys preparing for that? If America is no longer part of NATO, which we, like I said, we are the strongest part of NATO. If we fall, that would have a great effect on the power of NATO itself. How are you preparing for that?
That does not mean you are the good ones, even today.
What is the sentiment in your country towards America right now?
Hostile country.
So they view America as a hostile country.
Yeah. America is like a third world country, but with money.
Yeah, we got a term in our area, in the hood, called broke ninjas with money. I mean, so you're saying that we're like a third world country, but with money. Explain that.
Yeah, you have in the history of the world, America has the most financial power in history, and nobody had a chance to fix it. And right now, the America is about to lose the position as the number one financier in the world, and that's why America and Trump is flexing muscles, like trying to take Venezuela. It's not just about that. It's also about Epstein files, anything trying to distract from it.
You guys all the way in Greenland are talking about the Epstein files?
Everybody knows.
Jeez. Do you believe that? I mean, listen, you're not in the country. Do you believe our president would have done some stuff like that to underage girls?
Definitely.
I mean, look, the guy is he's been wealthy all his life. He wasn't bad looking as a strapping man. I mean, he could have got any woman he wanted. Why would he have to do something like that to children? He was hanging around a Playboy mansion. I mean, he could have had any woman he wants. You believe he would have done that to kids?
He's rich and he's his world. He's different in ours. There's no something, anything to feel something. I think they needed something else to feel alive.
children.
Yeah, it's something terrible.
Wow. Well, I can tell you one thing, MAGA does not see it that way. His supporters do not believe that he violated the innocence of a child. So at least 30% in this country, I believe MAGA is about 30% of the voting population. They don't believe that. So, and I don't think we'll ever find out as long as President Trump is in the Oval Office. We won't find that out until he's gone, because he's going to continue blocking the release of that stuff. So, I mean, the guy is what it. So, with him continuing to speak towards taking over your country, though, are you guys doing anything to prepare? I mean, I know you don't have. I mean, just like you seen how quick Venezuela fell, I don't think that Greenland would be able to fight off the United States. But you see, NATO is stepping up and doing something about that.
Yeah, Canada, NATO, most of Europe, and the rest of the world will start to, and it will take years and years and years, but we will defend ourselves.
Would NATO survive if he goes for Greenland, and you're saying that NATO would stand up for Greenland against its biggest NATO member? So I guess that would the whole organization survive that? That's infighting.
Yeah, that would mean the world will change definitely, but the world already has changed a lot than we grew up in. Trump just destroyed that with the Venezuela.
You think just what happened in Venezuela alone has changed the world significantly? What
Yeah.
Based on what? What do you mean?
Yeah, America just taking a peaceful country without any provocation.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it ain't like this is the first time we've done this. I mean, we have taken out leaders before, regime change or nation building, whatever you want to call it. But even though Trump is getting a lot of scrutiny for this, it ain't the first time America's gotten involved in. I mean, we took out Saddam Hussein, for instance. I mean, you know, he was a leader of a sovereign country. We got rid of him. So we have a history of doing this.
Yeah, I know, but this time is different.
How? I mean, look, I don't like what we're doing with Venezuela, but how is it different this time?
Because the rest of the world sees America as a aggressive country.
Is it America or is it Trump?
Both.
So all of us are getting painted with the brush of Trump.
Yeah.
That's not good, because a lot of us don't agree with the guy. That is not good. So you sound like what one of my callers in America is.
Do something about it.
Huh? What the hell can we
something
do?
about it.
What can you do? I mean, this is the same stuff we tell immigrants that come to this country. If you don't like your country, as opposed to coming to our country, go home and fix your country. As a citizen, you don't have the power to do that. And you're right. We would, a lot of Americans would like to get rid of Trump. The non-MAGA side would like to get rid of Trump. We don't have the power to do it. You're going to either go to jail or get killed. I mean,
Go
vote. There is a time frame before you can vote. This November coming up, you're going to probably have the biggest voter turnout for a midterm that you've ever seen. People will vote, but that's November. That gives Trump 11 months to do whatever the hell he wants.
Then demonstrate. Stop it. Do anything. Say something.
Should demonstrate. Well, people are saying all kinds of shit, but they damn near getting to the point where demonstrating is going to be illegal. I mean, this is how it is. A lot of Americans don't have a lot of familiarity with this avenue, but like I said, we tell other people, as opposed to coming to our country, go back home and fix your own country. But it ain't easy to fix a country if you're a citizen. I mean, if the powers that be are taking your country in a way that you don't, in a direction that you don't like, as a citizen, there ain't a lot you can do about it. Collectively, you can vote. But like I said, there's a time frame of when that can happen. We can demonstrate. They're demonstrating all over the country against ICE. It ain't stopping them.
You can stop the country as people. You can. and it has been done in many countries. Stop going to work and do something, and something will change.
So you're saying everybody should just stay home and not go to work?
Yeah, at least do something.
Yeah. I suppose that would have an effect if the whole country stopped moving. I suppose that, but I don't know. I think Trump would just ride it out. Y'all don't want to eat, y'all don't eat. I'm sitting at home eating lobster. I don't think that would matter with Trump. You guys sit at home. Let us know when you're ready to go back to work and you're ready to earn a paycheck. Meanwhile, enjoy your eviction.
As we've been saying for a long time, your king has no clothes.
Man, I don't know. I hope you're wrong about us losing our superpower status, though. I mean, because I would assume that if America falls, you said America would no longer be the leader of the world financially. If we fall, that's gonna hurt you guys too, right?
Not necessarily. We can join BRICS.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how well that goes, but I don't know. Hopefully I want to say joking, but taking Greenland, I don't, you don't joke about taking over somebody's country. I was going to say, hopefully he's joking. Hopefully he's just talking shit. I'll leave it like that. Hopefully he's talking shit and he doesn't try to take over your country. What is he saying he needs your country for? Because he's saying strategically he wants Greenland. What is it about your country that he wants?
National security and strategically, our country sits between Russia, China, and US.
So for the airspace and the flyover.
Yeah. But America already has truly Air Force Base. We still work with you for your security and ours.
Is there any push in your country now that Trump is talking this way to get us out of there?
Well, it's nobody really is talking about it because we cannot. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the technology.
You don't have the technology to tell America to leave?
Yes, we can say, but America is saying we're staying. What can we do?
This is the same argument I just gave you when you told us to fix our country. That's what I'm saying. You don't have control. When the powers that be is doing something you don't like, you don't have the power to stop them.
It's not our country. It's your country has doing the pushing military.
Yeah.
You have the military power. Here we can only say, don't do that, please.
That's kind of all we can say is don't do that, please, until election time. That's all we can do.
Yeah, you can stop working.
We got to eat, man. We got to eat.
I know. Grow some food in your garden.
I don't know. I think that might be wishful thinking. Greenland, I got to move on, but hopefully he's just talking shit. I'll leave it at that because it ain't something to joke about.
The last thing I would say, every time I'm trying to talk to you, the temperature has gone much higher.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to talk to you less and less, so I can tell you your country in much worse place than last time I talked to you.
Yeah. He does something that is, a big attention getting item almost every other day. So, yeah, I mean, 11 more months, you can only imagine. I mean, just think he's only been president. He hasn't even been president a full year yet. He's done so much in the almost 12 months he's been in office. So another 11 months, he can do a whole lot in 11 months. He does a lot quick.
Yeah, which the question is all for you. What are you willing to lose?
Never thought of it that way, but it's looking like everything. Greenland, appreciate you coming in, man.
Thank you.
Sad state of affairs. Looking in the comments, lots of damage. Yeah, in 11 months, he can do a lot of stuff. Here's what I expect the biggest target is going to be. The 2026 election. That's where I believe the biggest target is going to be, is making it hard to vote. particularly in liberal areas or areas that might be purple. That's what I believe the biggest, you're going to see the most laws being passed, maybe limiting the time you can vote, limiting if you can mail in a vote or not, limiting the amount of polling places available, limiting how long they're open. Obviously, ID is going to be required everywhere. And I don't have a problem with ID. I don't have a problem with requiring an ID to vote. That I don't have an issue with. A full-grown adult should have an ID. I'm fine with that. But when you start shutting down polling places or limiting the ways you can vote so that there are bottlenecks everywhere and people are waiting 2 to 8 hours to vote, that's where something sinister is at play. Because the hope is the more hurdles we put up to voting, the less people that will do it. That's where it is generally in liberal areas. Just like when you hear about these places that people are waiting in line for 8 hours and shit like that to vote, it's almost always a liberal city that is in a Republican state. It's a Republican governor that's limiting the access to voting for the liberals in his state. Because the simple solution would be just open up another polling office. If you got people in line that are waiting 8 hours, you need more offices. It's as simple as that. You don't want that, though. You want them to be in line for 8 hours so that some of them will just say, fuck it, I'm leaving. That's what the goal is. This is the whole thing about if you get somebody a bottle of water that's in line, it's a crime or something. Can you imagine showing up to vote? You're MAGA. You're MAGA. You believe Trump is going to make the country great again. You believe Kamala Harris is on cusp of destroying the fucking country. You're going to tell me if you're waiting to vote for Trump, somebody can hand you a bottle of water and make you vote for Kamala? It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Well, we don't want them giving bottles of water trying to sway people's vote. You're not going to switch between these two. Trump is so polarizing. You either love him or you despise him. You ain't going to change your vote because somebody hands you a fucking bottle of water. That is insane that they started saying that. That if you give somebody water, it might make them change their vote. They're trying to sway their vote. A bottle of water? It's crazy. I say leave people alone and watch your president. He's not real, huh? Get out of fights if you're not going to fight back. Or you guys are talking amongst each other. But yeah, I think that's the craziest thing I've ever heard is that if you give somebody a bottle of water while they, and this was like I said, it was done by design. So you're waiting on a hot day in Georgia or Houston or even in Cleveland, Ohio. These are states with Republican governors in Democrat cities where this stuff was happening at. You're waiting outside on a 80-degree day, standing in the sun and shit. They make sure there's no shade or anything. And you're waiting to vote in this long-ass line. And they want to make it a crime for somebody to come up and give you a bottle of water because they believe a bottle of water can sway your vote. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of. Nobody's going to vote for Trump or against Trump because somebody gave them a bottle of water. It just makes no sense. Anyway, looking in the comments, though, people are not only showing ICE ID, they are giving them real ID and passports, and it's still not good. Yeah, the whole purpose of ICE is to make your life miserable, in my opinion. That's their sole purpose. They don't want you here, period. And if you're somebody that came here legally and you're now here legally, you can't be deported. I just think that they're just unhappy that you can't be one of them. They still are not your friend. To me, the intentions of ICE is sinister. And I do believe some of them, after Trump's term is over with, if they don't receive full pardon, some of them will get in trouble. I believe that some of them folks that are under those ICE masks, the masks up there, some of them folks have no business in law enforcement. I bet you once we're able to find out all of those folks, who they are, you're going to find people that got felonies and people that have been kicked off police departments. there are people with deep, domestic violence bids. So there's going to be all sorts of people that are working for ICE that had no legal right whatsoever to be wearing a badge. I really believe that. Keeping it 100. At the end of the day, it's politics. Rich getting richer. I'm not rich. I think that's happening astronomically under Trump, though. I think the rich are doing really well under Trump. That's why he's bragging about the economy. It is getting better, but it's getting better for the people that are kind of more related to him than the average person. Straight talk. Good evening,
my man. You and your
my ilk.
Your ability to freebase copium, it astounds me. I mean, you over there smoking it like it is a crack rock. It's crazy.
Freebase copium.
But go ahead. Freebase and copium. I mean, Trump is dying. You guys are on the opposite side.
Wait a minute. I disagree with the notion that he's dying. I made it clear.
Yeah, you have these people up here that anything, man. I mean, the guy before, and then Mr. Greenland. You found the only guy in Greenland that is not begging the United States to take over that area and protect them.
You really believe that? Wait. You really believe that most people in Greenland want to give their nation up to America?
It's not a question of giving it up to America. There are 6 provinces in Canada that are voting to become states of the United States. They know how good we have it and about how good we're about to have it. You guys are the only ones that don't like what's going on.
How could you be in Canada?
And 30%, you got, how do we win an election with 30% of the people?
30% of
it is way over. No, it is way over 50%.
No.
Wait.
You didn't hear what I said. I said 30% of the country is MAGA. He won. Hold on. Let me get something in. He won the country with a lot of people that are not MAGA. All of them Hispanics that voted for Trump. They're not MAGA, but they voted for him. 30% of the country is diehard MAGA. He scored a lot of African Americans voted for him. They're not MAGA. They believed in his talk about the economy.
We brought people into a coalition of voters, every one of them interested in the United States doing better than under the other candidate, what the other candidate was going to do.
But they're not MAGA, though. I agree with you. They're not MAGA, though.
You woke up. You woke up on the
No. MAGA are people that are going to ride with Trump no matter what. The other folks are people that voted for Trump because he was going to fix the economy on day one. He was going to end the war in 24 hours. People fell for that. He was going to be America first. A lot of people voted for Trump because of those he promised a lot of good shit. I understand why people voted for him.
About 30% of people, of which you are one, you are now siding with the narco terrorist over your country. Nothing the president can do is going to please you. You're going to come out here every night. Every night that you come on, you're going to come out and you are going to pick apart what happened with Trump the day before. We know that. That's why I show up. I love watching you crashing every day. It is delicious to me. And you don't fail me. You do, Tim, goddammit, you do not fail me.
Well, listen, Trump does a lot. It's pretty easy to come on and talk every night about Trump because every day he does something different. I mean, either he's doing something like what happened with Venezuela, or he's getting online.
Like a dying man.
Huh?
Sounds like to me a dying man.
Yeah,
running circles around these people.
I don't buy it. I don't quickly buy into the notion that he's a dying man. I don't. But then again, they said Biden was dying. So I mean, look, people that's wishful thinking. I don't believe he's dying. I mean, he's 80 years old just about. I mean, I'm assuming his health ain't getting better, but I don't think he's dying.
Let me make it very clear. It gave me no pleasure whatsoever to see Joe Biden be elected in the condition he was in. It gave me no pleasure whatsoever to know that my president was struggling. None. That's when we're weak. When we've got a president that goes in and in less than an hour snatches the leader of a country out of his bed and brings him to D.C., brings him to New York, wherever they deposited his sorry ass, guess what? That's what I like to see.
I mean, come on now. What he did is akin to a fox taking out a chicken in a hen house. I mean, how hard was it for America with all of that shit down there to take out Maduro?
Do you know why he took him? Do you know why he gave him 4 options to save himself from the 5th option, which you saw last night? He gave him 4 options, and he decided not to take any of the 4 options that would have left him in the place that he was, or at least free. And he chose none of the 4, and that was a bad choice.
I'm not arguing with that. What I'm saying, though, is you're making it sound like him taking out Maduro is some kind of feat. That's easy.
In an
shit.
hour, Tim. In an hour,
Yeah.
another country could have done that.
You got
another country.
You got the CIA roaming around the country, getting intelligence, so you know where he's at. We're probably spending money in the country to get people to snitch on him. Yeah, that was easy.
For you to name. Should be easy for you to name another country that could have pulled that off.
I would think.
Go ahead.
I would think China could have pulled it off. I would think.
Really?
Let me tell you
Based
why.
on what?
Let me tell you
Based
this.
on what?
Let me tell you this. The reason why America could pull it off easier than other countries is because a lot of these countries, unfortunately, have let America become too much a part of their goings on, has let America into their country, intertwined. They don't have Chinese floating around Venezuela as much. They don't have.
Are you kidding me? Stop. Every city in the entire world, there is a thing called Chinatown. That Chinatown acts exactly like a part of the Chinese government. I have been in the Chinatown in Los Angeles. I know how they act. There is a Chinatown.
No, that ain't what I'm saying. That ain't what I'm saying.
City.
That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying in these. You think there's a Chinatown in Venezuela?
Yes, in every Caracas, yes, has a Chinatown. Every major city has a Chinatown. Everyone.
Then I believe that China could have pulled it off. Then, if America,
they can't even do it to Taiwan.
Here's the reason why China or Russia would not be able to do to Venezuela what we did. Is because we would interfere with it. If
right.
Yeah, but that don't mean they can't. That don't mean they can't do it. Because all of a sudden, if China wanted,
it does.
Yeah, if China wanted to park a whole bunch of ships on the coast of Venezuela, we would stop them. That don't mean they can't do it. That means they got Big Brother protecting them. There is no Big Brother that protected them from the United States.
That's true. We wouldn't let them do that.
Right.
They don't have the ability. We have an economy and a military 4 times the size of China. Mr. Greenland, if he's still listening, he better hope that China does not take over Greenland. He better hope that, because they've got prisons that he is going to enjoy for a very long time if that happens.
I don't know how you think the American prisons aren't that much better.
We're not going to go putting people. Why would we do that? Why would we do that?
People went to Alligator.
Anywhere.
People who went to Alligator Alcatraz have never been seen or heard from again.
Yeah, if they're terrorists, Tim, if they break the law.
The people that went to Alligator Alcatraz weren't terrorists.
Yeah, of course they were.
How do you know? You don't even know who they are.
Well, look, unlike you, I trust my government now that President Trump is leading it. So if he tells me, look, every single person that's here illegally, I'm looking at the CBP app right now. They get $14,000 to leave. They're not taking it. Why?
I'm still shocked that you said you trust your government. You realize how much Trump? You realize how much Trump lies?
No. His problem is he tells you the truth. He told you he was going to do this, and y'all don't like that he did it. That's the problem.
So Trump doesn't lie.
You guys don't dislike President Trump because he's a liar. You dislike President Trump because he tells y'all the truth.
So you're saying
and you don't like it.
You're saying Trump does not lie.
No.
I don't even have an answer. I can't even follow that up. There's so many things.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because you have loosened the meaning of the word lie so loose for President Trump. There is a website with listed like 44,000 lies, quote unquote lies that the president told. And you and I could one night go down that list, and you will absolutely hurt your brain thinking the president says that chocolate's the best flavor of ice cream. That's a lie. No, that's an opinion.
Okay, when he said COVID was going to be gone by April, is that an opinion?
Yes, at the best information he was given at the time.
He wasn't giving shit. Nobody told him to say that. He wasn't giving that information.
Do you know what the definition of a lie is? Maybe that's your problem. Maybe you don't know what a lie means. A lie means when you tell something untrue when you know that the something else is true. That's a lie, sir.
If you
a
say
lie is not, hold on. A lie is not saying I can end the Ukraine war with Russia in 24 hours. He probably could have, had he known that the entirety of the Ukrainian parliament was on the dole, and they wanted the war to continue. He thought he had at least one side that wanted peace. He didn't.
If you say something and it's not true, it's a lie. It is as simple as that.
No. If you say something and it's not true, you're wrong. If you say something not true and you know it's not true, it's a lie. Now get it right.
So when he said he said he had nothing to do with Stormy Daniels, was that an opinion?
What are you talking about?
The man said he never slept with Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, she says he did. Now it's he said, she said.
So so in other words, she just got.
One of them is lying.
One
of them is lying.
Okay.
I'm going to believe him. Do you see that fat tub?
Okay, look.
I don't think he slept with her.
Why the hell would she get $130,000 for a confidentiality agreement if he didn't do nothing with her?
Tim, how old are you? You're in your 50s, right?
Yes.
You're at least, okay. I can't believe I'm explaining this to you.
Please
as
do.
a 50-year-old man, but I'm gonna, okay? Sometimes when people have something that you want, you're willing to say whatever you want to get it. And the person that has it would rather give you a little bit of that thing and do what's called a settlement, just to shut your mouth. Now, they're not admitting guilt when they do that. They just want you to go away.
Trump don't even pay his employees. He ain't gonna get his broad $130,000 for no reason at all.
You guys said
he don't even pay his employees.
Felonies. You're lying. He didn't have 32 felonies. He had one felony, 32 counts. So make it look bad. So you are a liar. You are the liar.
So you ain't never heard this man lie before then?
No, of course I have.
What? Give me an example. What did he lie? What did you hear him lie about?
Again, I don't know. Because I don't know what he knew when he told me that thing.
So you're not for sure. You're not for sure he's ever lied. You're not for sure he's ever lied before then.
Okay, all right, we'll go along with that. I'm not quite sure that he's ever lied. But when he talks about his crowd size, when he talks about the crowd size at his inauguration being the largest ever, I am sure that someone somewhere in his orbit said, this looks like the largest crowd size of any inauguration ever, and he took it and he ran with it, which I would have done the same. And so would you.
No, I wouldn't have.
Well, maybe not you, because you have never lied in your entire life. You've never said anything remotely untrue to make yourself look better, and I applaud you for that.
No,
we all applaud you.
I have told lies, and I'm not going to try to. I'm not going to.
Then why are you standing on this man's tongue over what you think are lies? How do you know he had information that was different than what he told you?
The economy is the best it's ever been in the history of the country.
That is demonstrably true. Look, hey, say what you want. I want to talk to you in April when you get your return back. Let's find out. If we find out that President Trump knew in January that no one was getting a tax return, there are going to be a lot of people pissed. That will probably be a lie. But until you know that he knew that the information was false, y'all need to chill out. You're never going to convince people like me that the president is a liar with you doing all of this. This is not how you get it.
I don't think there's any way to get it to you. I think you're going
to. Yes, there is. You want
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm happy to tell you. Don't tell me.
Please do.
I'll tell you.
Give me what you got.
If you and I have a disagreement and your fence goes 5 feet over my property line, okay? You got two choices. You can destroy that fence, or you can convince me why it's a good idea for your fence to be over my property line. In other words, come to me with a solution. Come to me with a solution. You guys don't do that. You don't like when President Trump sends ICE through your cities and cleans up your crime. So you should have said, hey, look, get ICE out of here and we'll hand them over to you. We will give you every single one of these people that are here illegally that you want, but get ICE out of here. The president would do that if you did what you said you were going to do. I'm going to say, hey, look, you know what? Now I can talk to them about some of these people staying. The people that are good and decent people that shouldn't be caught up in all this mess. Let's talk about them staying.
I think your statement is a lie right there. I want to read this comment though. Dark Side Rider. Hold on, hang on. Hold on. But I think what you said is not true. Dark Side Rider said there is no way in this conversation that this guy is always right. This guy is smoking some serious alien pipes. So he's suggesting that you're smoking something. Hey, here, let me tell you what I'm saying. I don't believe that they could even told Trump that we'll give you all of the people you want if you get the ICE out of our. Trump is not sending ICE just to get illegal immigrants. He's sending ICE to stick it to the liberals. The same reason why he sent the National Guard.
Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that?
The same reason why he goes out to Illinois. The same reason he's going after the.
No. Why is it?
I'm answering your question.
At the very base, the net of this is because it is good for the president politically. It is good.
What
His
Trump
base is loving him for this.
Yeah, they loving him because he's getting liberal tears.
But guess what? Let me finish. But if his base, listen, you think I want zero immigration? Is that what you think?
Yes.
Because you're wrong.
Yes, I do think that is what you want.
No, well, you're wrong.
Zero brown immigration. My fault.
No. You're wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong.
That's what I think.
And you know why? Do you know why? Because we have 7 times less population than China. We can't fuck our way out of that problem. We need people from other countries to come in here and to help.
But he's talking about, you can have people come over from Norway and Switzerland is what he's saying.
And we need people from everywhere.
That ain't what he is saying. That is not what he is saying.
You can try to make this as racist as you want. You're the racist, not me. And you calling me a racist does not even raise my blood pressure one.
That's a good thing because I want you to be healthy to the end of this conversation. Keep going.
You can call me all the names. You call me rich. See how much money it adds to my bank. Okay.
All right.
So calling me racist doesn't do shit to me anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm telling you right now, there's plenty of countries that I've lived in, that I would love to have some more of those people that are from that country. So don't come to me.
Let me just say it like this. What you're saying is not what Trump is saying. Trump has made it clear he does not like black and brown immigrants. Every country he has complained about has been
talking about. I'll remind you, that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about my vote. We were talking about me being a liar and a racist, weren't we?
If you're voting for the guy that doesn't want black or brown, I'm not saying you're a racist, but maybe you're supporting one. How about that? Maybe you love everybody, but you're supporting a guy that don't like black and brown people.
I'm supporting the opposite of what we just had. I'm supporting the guy that is the opposite, not flooding this country with immigrants from all over the place. And by the way,
that ain't what Trump is not talking about immigrants from. He's made it fairly clear we want people from Norway and Switzerland. He's made it clear that if you come from a brown or black country, it's garbage, it's a shithole.
Not true. No.
How many ways does he have to say it?
Muslim country. Muslim.
No.
It's not a race.
No.
That is a religion.
Okay.
Muslim. Say it. Just so I know you can say it.
The Haitians eating cats and dogs?
Well, I mean, come on.
Come on, what?
But listen, if they can't.
And by the way, that's a lie. There's one of your lies, by the way.
What are you talking about?
They're not eating cats and dogs in Springfield.
Excuse me? And you live in Springfield and you know this? And by the way, it is very well known that Haitians, in order to gain power in their communities, eat cats. So don't just stop. Stop with that.
You are wrong.
Cultures do weird shit, dude.
You are wrong as the days are long. Let me just
Go to a wet market in China and find out what people will be willing to.
There are hundreds of thousands of Haitians living in this country, in New York, up down in Florida. There is no occurrence. You don't hear, before Trump, you had never heard of them eating cats and dogs. That is something that started with Trump and ended with Trump.
No, it didn't. No, it did not.
It doesn't happen. It's not happening. He lied. He lied.
Let me ask you this: true or false? True or false? Haitians make cookies from mud, feed it to their children.
In America or in Haiti?
In Haiti.
I don't know what they're doing in Haiti.
Then how are you telling me that you know they don't eat cats?
Because they're not doing it here. Let me say it this way. If you're saying that they eat cats and dogs, and when you're challenged on it, you got to bring up something happening into another country when there are hundreds of thousands of them here, then you're wrong. Let me hear about the ones doing it here. Why do you got to go to another country?
This is very well played.
There's plenty of them here. There are plenty of them here. And by the way, now that Trump became president, where is the follow through? If there were so many cats and dogs being eaten in Springfield, where's the federal investigation? Did you do anything about it? What's the follow up?
Well, I mean, what do you want us to do? Send in ICE to Springfield?
That's a crime. If you're eating somebody's pet, that's a crime. That is a crime.
What crime is that?
You telling me I can come and eat your dog and it's not a crime?
Well, it is probably a city ordinance.
You can't eat that. No.
You think it's like, what is it, a federal crime? You munching on Fido?
You can't even have.
Look, listen, I'm dying.
It's animal cruelty.
Why are we talking about this?
Because your man brought it up.
My man.
Your president. He's the one that.
You are so desperate to find out that President Trump is lying to you. You got to get rid of this TDS, dude. If
you're going to tell me that the cats and dogs thing is true, then I think you got TDS.
What I'm saying to you is, it was reported to the president that the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, were eating people's pets, not just cats and dogs. They took geese and ducks out of the ponds. They took dogs, cats. They took anything they could to eat. That was reported to the president. He reported it to you.
Reported to the president by who?
I'm not exactly sure.
Right.
I'm sure someone somewhere told him that that's what was happening.
Yeah. And he didn't fact check it at all. He just went on national TV and repeated it.
Okay.
That's a lie.
It's not a lie if you don't know that it's not true. How many times do I got to say that?
Isn't this the guy that's known for the phrase fake news? But he has no problem telling shit that he hasn't fact checked. Calling everybody else fake news, but he has no problem doing it himself.
That's a good point. You make a very good point. So I'm watching the Times of India, I'm watching Reuters, I'm watching Al Jazeera, and I'm watching this attack on Venezuela last night. And I noticed that all three of those networks that are supposed to be news networks tripled each missile. So it looked like three missiles were blowing up. So they would put it on your screen, three of the same images, and make it look like it was actually what was going on. When in reality, that's not what was going on. That to me is a lie that I am more concerned about than whether or not you ate a fucking fluffy.
Well, yeah, because you're not one of the Haitians that are in that town when the Klan and all the people showed up. So no, that's not a concern to you. But to them, people showing up in their town that are accusing them of eating animals, scaring the shit out of them, it was a big concern to them. People were not going to work and staying home and everything. They were being terrorized because of that.
Where did all the video of these people wading into the city pond and snatching up a damn goose and carrying it? What do you think they were doing with that?
Well, first of all, there's no way to know if the goose was not dead or not. He was just taking it out of the pond, and there absolutely is no way to.
I watched the man go in. Goose is swimming around. Watched him go in, snatch the goose by the neck, and take off with it.
Well, here's where the racist part comes in. You're talking about me calling people racist. Here's where that comes in. For some reason, you guys seem to have no problem taking the actions of a few and demonizing whole communities. You can watch the police do all kinds of bad shit, and your response is 99% of them are good. They just want to go home to their family. No matter how many cops you see do wrong, you keep going back to the default, but 99% of them are good. You only need to see. Hold on, wait a minute. You only need to see one Somali or one Haitian do something wrong, and you demonize the whole fucking community. What's going on in Minnesota? What's going on in Minnesota? Yeah, I do.
No, because I can stand on the corner and I can watch the police drag this white woman, out of the window of her car, beat the absolute snot out of her for not complying with their demands, and I will applaud the police every single day. Okay, white, black.
That ain't got nothing to do with. That ain't got nothing to do with what I just said. That ain't got nothing to do.
What are you talking about? You're saying
you interrupted me. You interrupted me. That's why you don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, I am 100% certain you have seen videos of cops doing things that you knew was wrong and agreed it was wrong, and you didn't walk away with this adverse feeling about all cops. Yet a few Somalis in Minnesota does something wrong, or the belief that a few Haitians are eating, and the whole community gets demonized. One Afghani shot 2 National Guardsmen. The whole Afghan community is being demonized because of that guy. Why is that?
I'm not demonizing.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
community. No, but you made it personal when you said that about me. You're trying to make me into some racist, and it ain't gonna work.
Well,
how many times? Listen, let me explain something to you. I have worked for Chinese companies for the last 18 years. I have worked around Haitians. I was in the army for 8 years. I worked around all kinds of people with every different melanin albedo that you can possibly come up with. You're either a good person, treat me fairly, or not. If there are Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, that are paying taxes and doing what they're supposed to do, no one should ever do anything to them. I'm not going to be in favor of that. But if you find yourself living with people who are snatching up your pets and barbecuing them on the weekend, probably not the best thing for you to do.
Yeah, but it's probably a good thing to actually provide evidence before making a statement like that, and
no doubt about that.
Fact checking. I got to move it on. Straight talk. We don't always agree, but you're always welcome back, man.
Well, listen, I don't know that, and it's getting worse. I'm worried about you. I consider you a friend. I am worried about you.
Thank you.
Because normally you are a
take your time.
There's a certain level to your TDS that it's taken.
Well, something. I'll respond to that. I got to move it on. I'll respond to that on the other side. But you're always welcome back, man. Don't worry about that. Come on back.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. And real quick, tap the screen. Get us on up to. I may have to put on my spectacles. I want to respond to what he was saying. And thank you, Charles Mathis, showing the program some support. Gets up to 160. Tap the screen. Here's the issue with that, because what he was saying, and I get that from a lot of folks. He was talking about the TDS, the Trump derangement syndrome. And a lot of folks will say, you used to be, somewhat fair even as a liberal, and you're sounding more like a progressive or some shit like that. Here's my take on this. I'm in the same place politically as I've always been, a little bit center left, not so far progressive. I'm not the Mamdani, the AOC, the Elizabeth Warren, the Bernie Sanders. I'm a little bit center left. The reason why it appears as if I'm changing over the last Trump term is because he's moving further to the right. I'm where I've always been. He is leaving and going further and further right. So the further he goes to the right, the further left I'm going to appear. I'm not moving though. He's moving. He's doing a lot of far right stuff now. That's why keep in mind, during Trump's first term, Mike Pence, Liz Cheney, what is her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene. All of these people were Republicans. They're all rhinos now. He's moving much further right. That's why it might seem like somebody like myself, who is slightly left of center, seems like I'm so far left, or seems like I got a whole lot of Trump derangement syndrome. He's doing a lot of shit. He is doing a lot of shit. So that's where that comes off. I'm not moving. I'm still where I am politically. I'm still giving him credit for things I think he deserves credit for, like the border and things like that. During his first term, I could defend him a little bit more. Stuff like HBCUs and creating jobs in the Black community. I don't have any of that now. In fact, the jobs in the Black community have went down under Trump. I believe he canceled HBCU funding. And of course, he's sending in the National Guard and stuff like that and locking people up. There's nowhere near as much to defend him with. So, and I'm trying, trust me. I get liberals all the time on the program telling me I'm MAGA. I'm trying. There's just not much there. There's not one member of, does he have anybody Black on his administration at all? I don't believe so. Maybe over housing and urban development. There's just nothing there. If there is something that is presented, I will certainly give a man credit. I don't mind. I'm not so far in any direction that I won't give a politician credit when they do something that I think is a good thing. I don't think any of us are going to benefit to any significance from what happened in Venezuela. It might lower the price of gas 30 or 40 cents. That don't make a big difference in most people's lives, unless you drive a whole lot for a living. And I drive about 100 miles a day. So it might save me $20, $30 a week. But I drive more than most Americans do. But I don't, he's lowered, gas is lowered 20, 30 cents a gallon under Trump, or whatever the case may be. When you factor in stuff like healthcare and what's happening to the farmers and shit, that's lost. That ain't no, you go tell the farmers about the 20, 30 cents a gallon they're saving. That is meaningless to them. Go tell the people who've had their healthcare premiums or that are about to raise hundreds of dollars per month. Well, I saved you 30 cents a gallon in gas. That is going to be meaningless to them. So it ain't, like I said, I haven't moved at all politically. He's moving further and further and further right. His immigration policies are much further to the right. Military in U.S. cities, that was something he didn't do in his first term. I expect how he's going to handle the midterms, the way people can vote and stuff, that's going to be much further right. He's moving further to the right on a lot of shit. So, yeah, I seem like I'm moving further left because he's leaving me behind. Anyway, looking in the comments, though, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Trump lied about everything this guy... This is coming from Dark Side Rider, says Trump lied about everything. This guy, what drugs is this guy on? I would want to get some of that, man. Have this guy call me. Yeah, my last caller said he's never heard Trump lie. My mind blew up on that because, there's a ton of things I've heard Trump say, but the way he orated it, well, if he says something that's not true, but he didn't know it wasn't true, or somebody told, it's almost like, was it Bill Clinton that said it depends on what the definition of is or something like that, or I believe Kellyanne Conway said something about alternative facts. If what's coming out of your mouth is not true, it's a lie. To me, that's the simplest explanation. He had a lot more detailed ways to go at it to help allow you basically to tell a lie and make it happen. Trump is a 34 or 47 convicted felon. What does that say to you? He's a dictator and a warlord. Yikes. How stupid can you be? He lied when he got into the White House. To me, the 2020 election is a lie Trump told. Most of the stuff he said about the 2020 election has not come true. In fact, most of the Republican Party does not say he won that election. To me, the 2020 election, the whole Biden stole the election thing, that ain't true. That ain't based on no reality. There may be things you can say that look suspicious, but him saying he won by a landslide, that ain't based on no factual information. Trump is Elvis. That's a lie. Anyway, let me go back to the box. And what does that say here? Biden did steal the election. No, he didn't. This guy is senile, don't know where he's at. Sleepy Joe Biden was able to orchestrate stealing an election, huh? And the whole Republican Party all was in on it. no Republican congressman or woman, no Republican senator, his own Republican vice president in the form of Mike Pence. They all said Biden won legitimately. All of them were in on it to help the adversary. And that's supposed to make sense somehow. Trump is right and the whole of Washington is wrong. And he doesn't even need to prove what he's saying. We just believe him. Anyway, let me go back to the box. Kabir, good evening. Welcome. Kabira, welcome to the program. Trump promised no new wars, but here we are. Well, there are not going to be new wars because he's savvy enough to strike countries that are not going to fight back. So you won't probably get any new wars under Trump because he's only going to hit countries that can't do much about it. I mean, you could like he's threatening Colombia next. I mean, there's only so much those countries can really do. There's a whole lot. I'm looking at the news behind. I got my big screen on behind me. Maduro is arriving at a Brooklyn detention center in New York. And I mean, man, the amount of police and helicopters and shit they got out there bringing this dude. I mean, he's had a long ass day. They went and picked him up in the wee hours of the morning, and he's been traveling all day, and now they're about to lock him up in New York. Yikes. Yikes. And look, I'm not, here's one thing you're hearing often too, is that you liberals are siding with a narco terrorist and all this. I don't, that's not my stance on it. My stance is you can take out a criminal the wrong way. If somebody is robbing a bank, and when they come out, you got them at gunpoint and they got their hands up and you handcuff them and then you beat the shit out of them while they're handcuffed. And I speak out against the beating you gave them. That doesn't mean I'm defending the bank robber. I think what you did was wrong in the process of the arrest. I don't think what we're doing in Venezuela is right. I don't believe it's our job to take out Maduro and bring them back to America and take their country's resources. I just think what we're doing is wrong. But we'll see how history plays it. Charles Mathis says, Tim for president 2028. Wow. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate that. By the way, folks, if you're watching this program on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, do your boy a solid. Give me a follow. We're here most weekdays. And if you're watching us currently live on YouTube, feel free to sub to the show. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. Getting over a cold, so I haven't been running the program the way I normally do, where I announce it, but we are MAGA friendly. Always have been MAGA friendly, always will be, but I'm getting over the flu. But yeah, if you enjoy uncensored dialogue from all sides of the aisle, you're in the right place. Follow us or sub. Y'all are chumps until people, U.S. citizens, back to supporting America, regardless of who you are, Dem or Republican. We will be weak. You here to be here, be American, don't like, then go. Here's a problem with that comment there. I think it says Everett. You can't be telling Americans to support America no matter what, and then you got President Trump saying, I hate Democrats. You're telling us that, you should support your country no matter what. If you don't like it, leave. But you're okay with the president saying he hates half the country. That's got to apply to him too. President Trump is saying all kinds of awful shit about his own constituents, calling his city shitholes and all kinds of stuff. You want the people of this country to be patriotic and love their country, but you're okay with a leader that shows nothing but hatred toward them. Doesn't work like that. And I'll tell you one thing. If you got a Democrat in office that's saying all kinds of nasty shit about Republicans, it would be the same stuff. When Hillary Clinton said deplorables, or Obama said they cling to their Bibles and guns, or I think Biden said something like garbage at the end of that Madison Square Garden comedic thing, you guys didn't like it. And that was just one comment coming from them. Obama did not routinely criticize Republicans. Biden did not routinely criticize Republicans. Trump does it every fucking time he's in front of the screen. There's going to be some consequence behind that. That's why people, one thing I never could understand is the right talking about Trump derangement syndrome. Why do y'all hate him so much? Do you really think when he's on TV saying all that awful shit about Democrats, he's trying to make friends? My opinion, let the man get the hate he deserves. He clearly wants the Democrats to hate him. Everything he does shows that he does not want Democrats to like him. If somebody can call you all of those names and say all that awful shit about you and you like them anyway, I'd question what's going on with you. He wants to be hated. Let the man get the TDS or hatred or whatever you want to call it, living in a head rent-free. Let him get the hate he deserves. The hate he is earning that. He wants that. My guess is if the Democrats stopped talking about Trump, he would just get on the internet and talk more. He is trying to provoke that. That is what he wants. So let him get what he's earned. And thank you, World View. Appreciate that. Friend of the program. Appreciate that, World View. Yeah, the guy wants to be hated. So let him do it. Good luck getting me to vote with you. But straight talk, that's a good point. You think when Trump says he hates Democrats, you think he's trying to get Democrats to side with him? As you say, good luck getting me to vote with you. You think the stuff he is saying about Democrat cities and liberal cities, all that harsh stuff he said, you think that kind of stuff gives motivation to Democrats to vote and agree with Trump? Think about it. Like I said, the guy is earning the hate. Let him get the hate he deserves. We'll continue on. Jeremy, good evening. Welcome to the program. Did Everett support Biden? I don't know. Jeremy, good evening.
How have you been, Tim? I mean, seriously, you look sicker than a dog. What'd you do? Eat some of gangster grandma's cooking?
I don't know, man. I look, I've been in and out of the ER. I've been laying down constantly. I'm still in my fucking robe. I didn't even put on a pair of pants in 3 days, man. I've been really bad off, man. I didn't think I was going to be able to go live for a few days, but we decided to take over Venezuela. So I'm like, well, what the fuck? So I got to go talk to the people. How do you feel about it? You feel good about us taking over Venezuela?
I have mixed feelings, but I did want to correct you on something you said earlier with Nick Shirley in the daycare. Just so you know, if people have looked in the Wayback Machine, and it turns out, it's that the daycare that you're talking about, called the Leering Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place. Guess what? It was listed on Google for up until literally only a few days later as permanently closed.
So why is he there complaining about it should be open?
Oh, because they pretend and that it's supposed to be open. In fact, this is why it's such a scam. They claim to be permanently closed one day, but then later, or all of a sudden, or a few days later, the supposed son of the owner comes out and says, "Oh, we're open. Why did you not hear?" It's like, yeah, no shit, you're open now because you got exposed.
Here's the thing: when you got the Trump administration not only pissed off about the fraud that's going on in that community, but blaming the entire Somali community for the fraud, calling them garbage, saying they need to leave the country, sicking ICE on their population. It should be obvious why they're not opening doors and answering. Any white guy that shows up with a camera is the enemy. That should be obvious. I mean,
no, that's stupid. That's stupid.
How is that stupid? Listen, some white dude, all of your customers, all of the parents that you deal with kids, everybody you deal with is black. Some white dude shows up with a camera and you think that's a friend?
I think that could easily be CNN. That could be MSNBC.
They ain't friends either. Then anybody that shows up is trying to find dirt on you. Ain't nobody white showing
up. How do
up.
you get customers? Then how do you get customers who actually want to go there? Like, here's the thing: a lot of daycares have it where, or like, they actually will let you in the doors because usually there's two sets of doors. Usually, what happens is that, and I'm sure you know this because you have kids, right? So I'm pretty sure at some point you probably interact with a daycare. There's like a door. There's like the doors are locked. Right, both doors would be locked, but there's a way of communicating with people to get you to come in, and there's like a lobby, and then the other doors would be for the actual people who go in.
This is not bosom buddies. Two white dudes showing up with a camera are not coming to ask you about your kids, about leaving kids here. These ain't two gay dudes telling them they don't adopted a kid and they want to know how much daycare costs. It's pretty obvious these two dudes are doing, huh?
You call them bosom buddies.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious these two dudes are showing up to do some kind of news expose on you. You're not going to let them in. They're not. These are foes. These are not friends. These are not friendly guys. So I can understand why everybody would shun Nick Shirley walking up. He's not there for any friendly purpose whatsoever.
So you don't think that, like, this is kind of the cognitive dissonance I see with you, Tim. Okay, I understand you like fluffing for Governor Walz, and now you're fluffing for Maduro. So I understand how you be.
They say I fluff for Trump. You talk to the right people.
Yeah, I know the lobotomites in your chat. I love those people. They're an entertaining little circus.
Oh my God.
But look. Like, if you really, like, first off, a place with no windows, a place that has completely blacked out screens, okay, like screen doors and whatever, okay, a place where when you call, it literally goes to Governor Walz and whatever the lieutenant governor's name is, like there, I think it's Kathy Hochul, I don't remember. Like that's literally the number listed on their like phone address. At some point, you gotta be like, okay, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, steals money from the government like a duck, maybe it's a fraudulent duck.
That sure don't seem to apply to President Trump because he fits a lot of that. And by the way, Mr. G says Trump ain't shit, so I don't have my soundboard, but yeah,
sound effects.
I don't have my device turned on, like I said. I'll give it, but a lot of that stuff don't apply to Trump. Trump is pardoning all kinds of fraudsters. It's crazy how much you guys are concerned with fraud in Minnesota. Meanwhile, Trump is pardoning big time white collar fraudsters that have ripped people off. Not only is he pardoning them, but he's forgiving the restitution they had to pay back to their victims. He's letting people out of jail and eliminating the restitution they were owed. And ain't nobody said nothing about that, but they're all over these Somalis.
That's okay. You want to know why? Because President Trump isn't me. And he's not Nick Shirley. He's not a lot of the people who are complaining, like, oh, well, like this is the kind of the thing that I get a little annoyed at you, Tim. I understand that, like, for MAGA, they'll just excuse everything he'll do. MAGA, well, what the hell was that?
That's me turning on my soundboard for Real G. Thank you, but go ahead.
Nice. Anyway, listen, okay, that's MAGA. But that's not me, and that's not Nick Shirley, and that's not most people who complain about Minnesota.
Well, it is absolutely Nick Shirley because Nick Shirley ain't going and chasing after some of them fraudsters that Trump let go. It is Nick Shirley. If you really care about fraud, if Nick Shirley really cared about fraud, some of them folks that Trump has pardoned and forgiven their restitution, he would go talk to the victims of some of those folks and ask them, how do you feel that Trump not only let them out, but some of the money that he would have had to pay back to you in hopes that you recover some of your losses, he don't have to pay that anymore. That would be a story. Nick Shirley ain't going to do that.
You don't know that. That's just.
You really think there's a chance that's going to happen? You really think there's a chance in hell that he's going to do that?
Well, I don't really know. I can't. You don't know him. Neither do I. But what I do know is that as nobody would, if people didn't point it out, I was getting that kind of thing. Okay, like here's the thing that you don't want to admit. Here's the thing that I know you don't want to admit, Tim. Part of the reason why this is such a significant story is not just because of how blatant and the fraud is. That's one part. It's not just because of how much money has been shoveled off to Al-Shabaab, the terrorist organization. That is another thing that is very concerning. The real reason why this is such a big concern right now, and this is something I know you don't want to admit to, is because we both know that if it was white people, Governor Walz wouldn't give a shit and he would put them in jail.
If it was white people, you guys wouldn't give a shit and Nick Shirley would have never been there. Nick Shirley the only reason this story is a big story is because it's a bunch of brown immigrants or black immigrants. If this was white Americans doing this would not be gaining anywhere near this kind of attention. That's the reason why it's a story.
No, I call bullshit on that. I call all bullshit. Like, what do you think? What do you think the Italian mob gets a break? No,
all of the people that get caught stealing pensions in the fire department, teachers union, and police departments, ain't nobody doing exposés on them. There's a lot more fraud in a lot of those other areas of life. They're going after these folks because it's a community of immigrants.
How do you know?
Because you ain't heard nothing about it. You don't hear Nick Shirley talk about it.
No, but I'm saying, how do you know that there's more fraud there?
because of the length of time it's been happening. They've been stealing from police pensions and shit like that probably before we were born. That stuff has always been happening. I mean, everything from you raise some kind of cookie drive or something like that, and you find out one of the cops took all the money and kept it. That shit's been, there's so much corruption in police departments and civil service departments all over this country. That's been happening forever. You don't see nobody doing exposés on that.
So what you're saying is speculation, and trust me, bro.
Just simply Google bad cop, bad fireman, bad teacher, fucking bad nurse. I mean, you're gonna get the phone book. That ain't speculation. It happens all the time.
Well, that will happen, and guess what will happen? Because they're white, they're going to get the book thrown at them, and nobody's going to give a shit.
No,
that's what always happens. If it's because they're Somali, and because as people like Ilhan Omar, or the person who honestly probably should have killed, will get the needle. Well, because
wait, what the hell has Ilhan Omar done that says she should get the needle? What has she done?
Honestly, I would not like with how much she's facilitated a lot of this fraud and how much of it has gone to a foreign military, Al-Shabaab, the Al-Qaeda offshoot.
The prosecutor,
honestly,
the folks.
I think anybody who it can be proven in court to have helped funnel money into a foreign terrorist organization should get the death penalty.
Well, shit, then you would have killed Ronald Reagan with the Iran-Contra scandal. You would have killed him too.
Fuck him.
Well, first of all, I believe the authorities looked into it and they said that they can't find any proof that any of the money from this fraud in Minnesota.
They can't. Of course they can. Are you talking about the feds or are you talking about Minnesota?
I'm just saying you can't suggest that the woman should get the needle for money going to Al-Shabaab unless you can absolutely prove it. There's no proof for that.
That's what courts are for.
Right.
That's what courts are for.
Okay, so until she's convicted in a court of law, there's no needle discussion being made. She hasn't, and by the way,
fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't been convicted of that.
Fine. When she does get convicted, then we should do it.
I don't even think she should be executed for that, even at that point. I mean, look, if you're funding the enemy, I mean, you would be worthy of prison time. But this notion of everybody needs to be executed, you sound like Charlie Kirk talking about bringing back public executions or something like that. I think
R.I.P. the ghost. Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. You beautiful motherfucker. I miss you so much.
Well, it has been at least 3 months since he said anything racist. So give him a little bit of applause. He ain't said anything racist in about 3 months. So shout out to the late Charlie Kirk.
And it's been at least 60 years since the Gangster Grandma had a period. What's your point?
Oh my, would you leave Gangster Grandma alone? Leave him alone. Leave her alone. Right. Yeah, so you're still up in the air about this Venezuelan thing, though.
No, I got mixed feelings on it. I don't feel bad for Maduro. I don't.
Same.
Fuck him. He's definitely not a good guy.
Same.
I don't think anyone in their right mind. Well, okay, you know what? Never mind. I know there's going to be people out there simply like Maduro was just trying to help his people. It's so sad. Well, shut up. There's going to be some people out there, some loser out there, but like for most part, I think most people understand this was a bad hombre. This was not an amigo.
Let me ask you this way, because you and I agree on Maduro. I think most people agree that Maduro was a piece of shit. But let me ask you this: if Venezuela did not have oil reserves, do you think we would have taken him out then? Still?
Yeah, probably, because it's a weaker country.
I don't buy that. I mean, because Cuba has a dictator. We ain't taking him out. I think that we're doing it because we're gaining something out of it. There are dictators all over the world. We don't mess with them. All of a sudden, you put a little bit of resources in their country, and suddenly we find a reason to go there. I mean, so do you really believe that this whole thing was about fentanyl and drugs?
Low battery.
I believe it was mostly because they were weaker. But I do believe a lot of it does have to do with that. No, here's the thing. Here's what I think is actually happening. I think Trump understands that China cannot push fentanyl into the United States without getting the help of like a lot of Latin American countries that I think are complacent in it. And I wouldn't even say complacent. I think actively trying to push them into the United States to make some of that sweet cheddar. Okay, but I do think I think that gave him extra motivation because he's talked about like, you know, if I was in Afghanistan, I'm sorry, if I was in Iraq, I would have taken the oil. I would have taken it. You know, he said that in the past.
I think the biggest aid to getting fentanyl in this country is Americans. I mean, we can talk about China, we can talk about Venezuela, we can talk about anybody. As long as there is a colossal, huge demand for it in this country, that's the biggest problem. And if you don't solve that, you can kill anybody you want to kill. I mean, the people here want it, just like with firearms. People always say if you ban firearms, they'll get one on the street or they'll start printing them or what. People want guns. No matter what you do, they're going to find a way to get guns. I don't know why when it comes to drugs, we have a different mindset. If people want to get high, you're not going to stop that.
It depends with drugs. With drugs, certain drugs can only be created in certain areas of the world because of the climate and because of the type of...
You can't create climates?
It would be very, very expensive and probably self-defeating.
It's a $1 trillion industry, Jeremy.
$1 trillion industry. Yeah, but that's because where it grows, it is cheap to grow it there.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. You think all of these drugs get into America because the smugglers are just that good at what they do? You don't think that there's a ton of Americans that turn a blind eye or help smuggle it? I mean, the U.S. military has been caught helping smuggle drugs in this country. As long as that, so you're not going to get rid of it. You're just not going to stop it doing anything that Trump is doing. And I'll tell you this: after Trump's term is done in 2028, we're going to be able to look back, and I guarantee you one thing we'll say for certain. I'm 100% certain of this. It was not any harder to get drugs in America at any point in Trump's term than it was under Biden. He did not make it harder for Americans that wanted to get high to find drugs. Drugs were readily available throughout Trump's second term in America. I guarantee you we'll be able to say that.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
So in other words, what he's doing is failing. So what he's doing with the boats and all this stuff is really a failure then. You're not stopping anything. You're just killing a few people.
Yeah, I think the way he's handling it is not particularly the best, but I do think that we should have plenty of security about us when it comes to how we like protect our shores and make sure that everyone else is coming in correctly. Yeah. You know, I think that would be a lot better, and I think that could actually slow down the supply. But however, the demand would still be up, and I think the way you solve that, this is going to sound kind of controversial. You make a society where people have purpose. Like, what's a better way of getting somebody, you know, other than like maybe like you're a teen and you want to smoke a little weed or whatever, you know what I mean? Other than that, like when it comes to like real hard drugs like heroin and shit that like people are actually gonna like unalive, or they're gonna actually.
Oh shit, we had everybody from Whitney Houston on down. The dude from Friends. I mean, even people with purpose still want to get high. There's no way to stop this. I mean, there's just some people.
Even then, a lot of those people like are in industries that are extremely toxic to their mental health. Like, let's not lie. Look at the music industry. Come on, like all the Diddy parties, like all of the corruption and all of the people who got ripped off in their contracts, saying like, "Oh, we'll give you this much as a signing bonus."
I don't think there's any way. I'm just telling you, I don't think there's any way to stop people from getting. Only way you could probably do it is if you had a country that was ran like Saudi Arabia or something like that, where you just killed people all the fucking time. Public executions just was, you know, you just treated people like shit. You might be able to stop, just scare the living shit out of everybody. Everybody lives in fear. You might be able to stop it that way, but that's not a free society.
I don't even agree with that. I think there are psychological ways. Like we know, like we've been studying addiction and what it gets people into drugs for a long time now. We're making progress, Tim. Like
but the issue is we're a capitalist country, Jeremy, and capitalists want to make money. They don't care if their way of making money makes you fat, makes you unhealthy, or even kills you. As long as we are a capitalist country fighting to get rid of regulations on how they can make their money, it's going to continue because you got to deal with them folks to try to stop it. I mean, so it's going to be what's going to be. You're not going to stop what Trump is doing. And by the way, let me ask you this: if he's blowing up the boats on the claim that they're bringing drugs in this country, while claiming that Maduro was a narco terrorist responsible for bringing a lot of drugs in this country. Why didn't he just blow up Maduro?
Honestly, I think it's because he doesn't want to turn Maduro into a martyr. He wants him tried in a court, and he wants him found guilty, and then get rid of him.
So what is he playing? God? Picking and choosing which people get the death penalty and the other ones that don't?
Come on, he's got the biggest ego on earth. What, do you think he won't play God?
How does that look?
Not the greatest, but here's the thing. I don't think he's unwise for not just executing Maduro with a sniper, or with a smart bomb. I think that he's actually kind of smart there because he realizes, think about someone who's not a world leader like Charlie Kirk, and what happened the second he got unalived. All it did was make his name bigger. So imagine all of a sudden you just put a smart bomb.
No, Charlie Kirk getting taken out did not make his name bigger. Trump made his name bigger. Trump can make anybody. Trump made Lincoln Riley big. Is Trump making if Trump hadn't got involved in that shit, Charlie Kirk would not have gotten. It's Trump. They're flying his body on Air Force Two and renting out arenas and shit. I mean, Trump did that. That's what made Charlie Kirk bigger.
Tim, be so for real right now. Be
I
so
am.
for real right now. No, you're not.
You think if Trump didn't do all that shit, they didn't rent out arenas to have memorial, you think he still would have been bigger from that?
Oh, come on. Yes, he would have. No, here's the thing. Did Trump probably help? Yeah. But this idea that his death wasn't like when you take away someone who's beloved, even if they're controversial, if they're beloved by a lot of people, you want to know what's going to happen? You make their name immortal. You make them into a martyr. And Trump knows that about Maduro, and he's like, that's not what I want. I don't want a murdered Maduro.
I don't think Charlie Kirk is a martyr, though. I think for people that listen,
he's a martyr for free speech.
Hate speech. I mean, he's free speech, yeah, but I mean, I'm amazed.
Hate speech is free speech.
Yeah, you got a point. Like I said, once I started, because I saw him debating on some social media pages and things like that. I didn't pay real close attention to him, but once he did lose his life, and people started saying he was a racist and shit, and the clip started coming out, and then folks were saying, you're taking them out of context, and I'm thinking all of these clips are taken out of context. So then I started looking, doing research and hearing full debates. This guy really don't like black people.
He doesn't hate black people. He just doesn't like the culture of irresponsibility that permeates a lot of black people.
All I'm saying is this: for a guy who hung around very few black people and very few black associates, everything he said in regards to black people is negative. How is that? You're not even around him. How do you have so much negative stuff to say about the black? You don't have anything. You ain't never seen one of them to have anything positive to say at all. Every quote is negative.
Tim, if you're going to talk about issues, if the black community had hardly anything going on that was bad about it, why would he talk about it? He's a commentator. Commentators have to talk about issues, things that are wrong, things that need to be fixed. What if every time you encountered a black person and you were like, oh, hello, sir, good to see you. Again, I know you're not going to rob or mug me, even though the statistics don't bear that out. Eventually you're just going to be like, yeah, well, there's nothing to talk about black people because they're all doing good.
Okay, so there's no issues concerning white people. I didn't hear him say anything bad about whites.
I'm sorry to say it, Tim, but here's the thing. With white people, when there are issues, nobody hides it. Nobody hides it.
Racism is something you hide all the damn time.
Oh, come on. Tim, do you know how unpopular the Klan is these days? It's basically mostly feds. Okay,
well, first of all, let's be clear. The Klan is kind of phased out. Modern day racism, if you got to bring up the Klan, you're not paying attention. There's a lot more, all of these neo-Nazis and stuff walking around, literally walking down the street waving swastikas. That ain't the Klan. The Klan stuff is old.
Feds. Yeah, it's a bunch of feds.
All I know is this. It don't matter what era in history we're talking about. If there's somebody of color complaining about racism, there's somebody that is white saying, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Doesn't matter what era. You can go back to the 20s, and there were people of color complaining about racism, and there were white people saying, what you're talking about ain't happening. It don't matter when it is. So that is one thing you have a history of is denying racism. The first goal is to deny it exists.
I do. I'm Latino. I wasn't even born in the States.
I'm just telling you that, not you specifically, but that's what I'm talking about. Is the denial of racism is something that's been there forever. I mean, you just don't. The white community denies racism. George Floyd died of a heart attack. I mean, you just come out and say what was done to this person is wrong. You got to damn near be stabbing somebody and yelling the N-word at them. Yeah, okay, that might be racist. Like, damn, what does it take?
No, I'm willing to call actual people racist, like Nick Fuentes is an actual anti-Semite and racist.
Yeah, because he's somebody that has damn near stabbed somebody and yelled out. I mean, he's made it clear that what he is. I mean, he says stuff like Hitler is cool. I mean, like how much? Yeah, he's pretty obvious with it. He ain't tried to hide it. But all you do is need to hide it a little bit. And there's a large portion of the white community that will use that as enough to say you're cool.
Okay, so wait. So what if there's a consistent problem in a community that is undeniable, and it's not something that everyone in that community does, but it is a repeated problem that you can see over and over again? Are you supposed to be like, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. Everything's pretty. Everything's beautiful. My liberal arts degrees feel so nice on my asshole. Like, come on. At some point, you got to be like, there's a problem here.
Well, the problem is I don't see why Charlie Kirk is pointing this stuff out. You don't live near blacks. You're not interacting with them. Why are you pointing out flaws of the black community so much? You're not even around them. That's like what's happening in Minnesota right now with the Somali fraud. They ripped off the taxpayers in Minnesota. They didn't rip off federal money. They ripped off the taxpayers in Minnesota. Why the hell are
That's
people in?
That's not true.
Why
That's
the hell?
actually not true.
Well,
federal money actually does get mixed in with state money to do these programs.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out why the hell are people in Montana and Idaho complaining about what they are doing in Minnesota. That's what I'm talking about.
Because some of the federal money is going there.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm not even kidding. That's actually a fact.
Okay.
Not only that, why is it okay that anyone does this anywhere in the United States of America? It's our country. Even if it was only happening in New York or something like that, and not even New York State, just like even if it was only happening in one of the boroughs, I was like exclusively Manhattan.
But that's my point.
Like, that's fucked up.
But that's my point. We're complaining about fraud while Trump is pardoning fraudsters, and we're ignoring that.
Yeah, he shouldn't be pardoning those fraudsters. That's the thing. Two people can be wrong at the same time.
Yeah, but if you're going to point out what they're doing in Minnesota as wrong, and you're not pointing out him pardoning fraudsters, then you're being a hypocrite. And I think a lot of MAGA is doing that. They don't have. In fact, you can't even bring that. Well, you're deflecting. Like you're just skipping over this stuff. This guy, I mean, he's pardoning damn near one fraudster per week almost, and they're ignoring all of that. These are white collar criminals responsible for stealing millions, if not billions, of dollars from people, cryptocurrency schemes, and all kinds of shit. He ain't saying nothing about that. But they're all, everybody's going to Minnesota for these guys. You see how that looks?
Tim, you gotta understand. First off, I'm gonna say something kind of controversial. That's probably gonna get me like a lot of hate, but it's 100% true. First off, like a lot of these Somalis, they have much more tight-knit in-group preference than other communities do, especially compared to white people. A lot of them, like there's some that call out their own people, but you see this with a lot of Far East Asians as well. Where they have such strong in-group preference that there's kind of a no snitching policy.
Wait. You do realize the head of that scheme in Minnesota is a white woman.
Which one?
The Minnesota fraud. There's a white woman at the top of that shit.
I'm a bit confused. What are you talking about?
The fraud we're talking about of what the Somalis are doing in Minnesota. There's a white woman involved in that at the top.
Okay, so what? That doesn't necessarily.
She's not getting any attention. Nick Shirley didn't go talk to her or anything.
And not only that, I don't even know what white woman you're talking about.
Okay, keep going. I'll see if I can bring it up, but keep going.
Yeah, that's fine. Another thing that a lot of people don't want to hear, and this is going to really ruffle some feathers. The average IQ of Somalis is actually lower than the majority of the population.
Okay.
Yeah, these are not smart people who do a particularly good job of hiding their fraud. But the reason why I was able to go on for so long is because people in governments like Tim Walz, they don't want you to be able to prosecute people of color. They want to give special privileges to people of color, especially foreigners.
That's an opinion. What are you basing that on?
There've actually been statistics taken of the average IQ of Somalis and other people, and a lot of it has to do with, unfortunately, this is a real problem in their community, Islam, because Islam actually promotes inbreeding. That's a real thing.
Yeah,
and like a lot of people will say, like, well, what about the Europeans? Europeans did not do that for the most part. It was mostly the upper class.
What is your source of this stuff?
I'll send you it. I'll send you it in the DMs.
All right, I got to move it on, of course, but I ain't never heard. You're the first I've ever heard say something like that. But because I think a lot of times when we're talking about the Muslim community and things like that, we kind of treat them as a monolith. I mean, the Muslims that live in Jordan are nothing like the Muslims that live in Nigeria or nothing like the Muslims that live in Tajikistan. I mean, they're different types of people. We group all of these people up as if they're the same type of person. I mean, many of these groups have been fighting with each other for centuries, so they clearly are not the same type of people. But in America, we say Muslim and just put them all under the same umbrella. And I think that's where the problem is, because we got a lot of allied countries that are Muslim, and it's safe places to go. It's, friendly places to be, but because they believe in Allah, we view them as damn near the enemy. So I think we need to realize that all Muslims are not the same. Jeremy, appreciate it.
Yep. See you around, Tim.
Hey, you too. And I see somebody in the comments who said that Be the Downer said guest is a bigot. Damn. Anyway, Jesus. All right, maybe I've had enough. I'm still having a few breathing problems. Thank you folks for tuning in. I'm still dealing with the flu. Venezuela, God, I don't know. As I said throughout the program, I don't believe what we're doing in Venezuela is to the best interest of the Venezuelans. I believe we're going to be there long as it takes to probably take some of their oil, maybe even control the way it's distributed in the future, and leave. I don't think the people of that country are going to benefit from us being there at all. Now, if we've gotten rid of Maduro, who knows if the next chances are the next leader is going to be an American implant. It's going to be a pro-American leader. Will that country favor that person? Probably not. We tried that in Afghanistan with Hamid Karzai, and they ran his ass out of there. But we'd have to see how it goes. But this wasn't necessary to me. This was not necessary, and it's over oil. As I told my last caller, and I've said this many times with you folks, at the end of Trump's term, it's going to be evident that he didn't do anything to stop the distribution of drugs in America. He didn't even make a dent in that. He just killed a bunch of people at sea in boats, talked a bunch on TV, sent out a few truth quotes on social media, and that was it. People still got high, drugs still continued to come in the country, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, he's claiming that 300,000 people a year die from drugs, and he's using a phrase that's more than we lost in the Civil War or whatever. I can't speak on whether he's telling the truth or not, but if those numbers are correct, those numbers are going to continue. What he is doing is not going to stop that. Anyhow, I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's your boy Tim, the Handsome Liberal. I got to go take my meds and relax. Catch you guys tomorrow if I'm able to do so. And if he doesn't do anything else, wow, take care. God, I feel terrible. Oh, my God. I got to go.